Yep.
Your camera's vertical on my screen.
It keeps on switching. I don't know why.
It's right there. Yeah, there used to be. Yeah. There used to be batting cages. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to get out and come back in?
Yeah.
No, my season doesn't start till Monday. I'm actually up in the booth right now, keeping scoreboard for the homecoming football game. Well, I only had 4 minutes to go until I got to keep score for this what else? I'll text you the schedules. I think our first preseason game is
Just went back.
Come in there. I'll show you.
And welcome on into the home of the Golden Rams. It is John Carroll High School for the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. I'm Christian Catt on the call alongside the coach, Jimmy Bell, for this matchup of two teams up north from Benjamin and Palm Beach Gardens here in Fort Pierce, the home of the John Carroll Catholic Golden Rams. Coach, it's a homecoming night at John Carroll High School, so the energy's just a little bit different.
Yeah, it's always different homecoming week. And as a coach, former coach, the thing you concentrate on the most is, can we keep our guys focused throughout the week? There's so many distractions, but homecoming is really not for the football team. It's for the fans, for the alumni to come back and celebrate what they accomplished while they were here. So you got a football game to win tonight. If you're the Rams, you got to stay laser focused.
And they also are debuting the brand new Coach Dave Versillo Fieldhouse over there just behind us to the left. Beautiful weight room, coaches' rooms, great facilities over there. So they want all the eyes and ears on John Carroll Catholic football here tonight. And coming on in, trying to disrupt homecoming, is the Benjamin Buccaneers, first year from head coach Jason Belser. Benjamin has played a couple of tough teams this season. There's no two ways about it. They're taking a big loss at Jesuit, driving over to Tampa. Jesuit's a great team. They beat Cardinal Newman. I know Newman was not at full strength, but still they blew Newman out. And then speaking of Cardinal Newman, Benjamin took a loss to them. But outside of those two games, they played Gulliver Prep very close out of Miami. They played Jensen Beach to 2 scores. And they played Kings Academy just to a 1-point game. Outside of that, wins at Seminole Ridge, wins at Victory Christian Academy, and a win at Jupiter Christian. And that's the only loss of the season for Jupiter Christian. So Benjamin sneakily can be a little bit of a thorn in the side of John Carroll Catholic today and try to upset some homecoming fans.
Well, I tell you, before the great Chris Berman said it, that's why they play the game that I was saying anyway. He gets paid for it, though. That's the only difference. But you come into these games, you realize what's at stake. Your season is on the line. In your mind, every game counts. As I talked to Eric Lowe, a good friend of mine today, and he said simply, listen, at the end of the season, whether you're in playoff contention or you're just a team playing to the end of the season, everything's on the line. Play to the end, play hard, play fast, and leave everything on the field.
Yeah, the records in these two teams, John Carroll Catholic is 6-2 on the season. They took a loss to Cardinal Newman way back in August, and they took a loss at Jensen Beach in a close one, 21-20. That's the only blemishes that they have on their schedule. Apart from that, it's been a lot of blowout wins. Sebastian River blowout win, Forest Hill, Port St. Lucie, Holy Trinity Episcopal Academy. It's been a lot of Golden Rams success in 2025 for the Golden Rams and head coach Mickey Grudy as they try to keep that rolling here tonight. John Carroll Catholic will be wearing their all-black uniforms with the blue helmets up top, and Benjamin has the blue bottoms, white tops, and orange helmets. This is something special tonight as we are debuting the digital-only version of High School Game Day on the ESPN South Florida app. If you want to listen to the game, it's only on that app for audio only. But if you want to watch the game, see every tackle, every touchdown, go to YouTube at ESPN Top 63 on YouTube, or if you just Google search John Carroll Benjamin, you will find that football broadcast. It's the Golden Rams. It's Benjamin. It's all coming up right here for the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
John Carroll captains are number 99, Emilio Fuentes, number 62, Nico Pisano, number 0, Jeremy Pittman, and number 1, Jackson Summerall. Looks like the Buccaneers will receive the opening kickoff. But before they do, I invite you all to please rise and join for our opening prayer, followed by the national anthem, which will be performed by the John Carroll High School and San Anastasia Royal Palm Band under the direction of band director Keith Sands. We begin tonight in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, direct our actions and guide us by your Spirit, that during prayer, work, study, and play, we may always remember to love you above all things and to love our neighbor as ourselves. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
That was a tuba.
What the hell is wrong with that thing?
I'm living in the 21st century. Doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody ever seen. Do it strong from the age.
Here come the win!
And we welcome you on back here on YouTube at ESPN Top 63 and streaming live, audio only on the ESPN South Florida app. My name is Christian Kent on the call alongside the coach, Jimmy Bell, for this HSS Game of the Week. Coach, you had your eyes locked in on the coin toss. What were the results?
Well, I'll tell you, John Carroll, as most coaches do, they won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. So you put your defense out there first. You know that on the offensive side you can score, but you got to get some momentum on the defensive side to stop this Buccaneer offense as well.
So back deep to return to get this game started is Chancellor Reddick alongside Camden Giles. There'll be two men deep back inside the 5-yard line, splitting that field in half. Kicking this one away for John Carroll Catholic will be Yatsil Villanueva. He is the do-it-all specialist with his leg. You'll see him punt, you'll see him kick off, and you'll see him kick field goals and extra points tonight. Again, if you're streaming live on the ESPN South Florida app, thank you so much for joining us. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us and watching this HSS Game of the Week as we are underway. Benjamin getting the football first. It is a onside squib kick and an absolute hammer hit at the 41-yard line. Benjamin does not fumble the football. They keep it. And Benjamin will have good field position to start this game as John Carroll Catholic try to sneak in an extra possession there at the very beginning of this game on ESPN Top 63.
Yeah, the junior Devin Lewis, number 7, with a big hit. Didn't get the football out, but that's a hit that will be remembered by the Buccaneers. They've got to be ready. Good coaching there because they were ready for that onside kick.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those traditional onside kicks where it's a rolling ball that tries to trip up the return team. It was a pop fly that John Carroll tried to beat Benjamin to the football, but the Buccaneers had the final laugh on that first play of the game. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Here comes quarterback Charlie Smith, who's on the ESPN Top 63 list under center. Takes the snap, hands it off. Right side on the carry goes Reddick. Reddick into the second level, across the 40, 35, 30, 25, and Reddick gets ripped down inside the red zone. One play, a big play, and the Buccaneers are on the move early.
Well, that's next level speed by Reddick, going around the right side, got some great blocking by not only his wide receivers, but the tight end as well, and that's what you need in the running back position, the ability to go to the next level in terms of speed.
Senior running back Reddick in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for quarterback Charlie Smith, the senior signal caller. This is an offense that is largely predicated on the run game. Under center goes Smith, takes a snap, and hands it off left side. Reddick on the carry, bouncing outside again at the 10-yard line. He gets tossed down near the line to gain. It's a gain of 9 or it's a gain of 10. Either way, another big gain that time from Chancellor Reddick, the senior back. Has been the offense of the Buccaneers through 2 plays.
You know, throughout the season, if you can run the football, you can win a lot of football games, and that travels. And coaches know that, offenses know that, and that's what these Buccaneers are coming to this contest with the mindset they've got to run the football.
2nd down and medium. Line to gains inside the 10. They have the ball spotted at around the 11. Smith with 2 receivers right, lone receiver left. He takes for a quarterback run up the gut. And he gets really close to it, if not achieve the 1st down yardage. And they are not moving the down markers yet. They're going to call him short. So we have 3rd and short coming up for the Benjamin Buccaneer offense. 10:40 to play in the first quarter. Thank you for joining us here on the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smithville, Bias, and Prather. Benjamin got the football first after John Carroll won the toss and deferred. And they are on the move. 3 plays. 3 plays all running the football. I formation with a fullback and a running back. Lone receiver to the right side. It's a handoff to the back Reddick, who reverses field, cut back across the 10, the 5, into the end zone, and he's in for 6. It's a touchdown for Benjamin, but there might be a hole bringing this one back. Penalty marker down at the 6-yard line. As it looked like the entire John Carroll defense got sucked inside, allowing Reddick to cut back and find the edge. And when John Carroll tried to work their way back to tackle Reddick, maybe a Buccaneer grabbed a jersey and did not allow the defense from getting outside. You know, it's a big penalty there, going from 3rd and inches to now.
So we will replay 3rd down.
They're going to move the football to the 11-yard line. So the hold went down the field. Smith under center with 2 receivers right and 2 receivers left. In the backfield, Reddick one again. They fake it to him. Fire across the middle to Fluff and incomplete. Trying to dump it across the middle to the big tight end for Benjamin. Trying to spring free was Jackson Link, the freshman tight end. Looked like he may have had some space, but a good job by the Golden Rams defensive line for getting a ball up and affecting that Smith pass. Here comes the field goal unit on for the Benjamin Buccaneers as they try to open up the scoring in this one, and they will do so from 29 yards out. On to kick this one through is Alexander Calvo Ayers, the junior, on the roll dash. 4th down and 5. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's got the distance. And is the direction good? You betcha. Benjamin gets on the scoreboard first with a 29-yard field goal from Calvo Ayers. Benjamin 3, John Carroll 0 with 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. What did you see out of the Benjamin Buccaneers offense in that first drive?
Well, their ability to run the football is very important for them, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast. But the one thing that I noticed that really was a win for the Golden Rams there, because it appeared that Benjamin was going to go in for the score. They got down 3rd and inches. They get the holding penalty, which backed them up. But then they stopped them and gave only 3 points on that drive. So they were right there. They actually scored a touchdown, did Reddick, but they called it back because of the holding.
So expect a lot of the run game on both sides tonight. Benjamin likes to run the football a ton, as does Mickey Grudy's John Carroll Catholic Golden Rams. You're going to hear the last name Pittman a lot, really, in the most recent history of John Carroll football. This time it's the senior running back Jeremy Pittman, who averages over 150 yards per game. He has found pay dirt 13 times in 2025. His younger brother is injured and out, Jadian Pittman. This one's kicked deep at the 5-yard line and returnable across the 20, 25, 30, and brought down at the 30-yard line is the return man of John Carroll. Return that time was made by Donovan Richardson, who's also one of the offensive explosive talents for Mickey Grudy's Golden Rams.
When you have an offensive weapon in Pittman that can average 151 yards a game, you've got to give him as many touches as you can, whether it's throwing them the football or giving it to him out the backfield just out of the I formation. So we'll see how many times he gets touches tonight, but I know he's going to be an important part of this offense.
Wearer number 1 is Jackson Summerall. He's the quarterback for John Carroll. They'll start in the pistol with 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right side. Ball at the 30. Hard count, and that will get Benjamin to jump before the first play from scrimmage by the offense of John Carroll in this game.
Last offside in the Bucs. Never ends 5, make it 1st and 5.
Jaden Crosby Mosley jumped off. And a free 5 yards. Gift wrapped and handed to John Carroll. So they will now start with the football on their own 35-yard line. 1st and 5. Summerall in the shotgun. Directly behind him is Pittman. Another hard count. At this time, there is pre-snap movement on the offense of John Carroll. Nerves being shown on this drive so far. Both sides getting a little bit anxious to hit the man standing across from them.
Yeah, give and take. You know, both guys, one on the right side, one on the left, jumping on the offensive, defensive side. But again, as you mentioned, some of the nerves early in this game, both teams know how important this game is. They're trying to get off very early.
9:51 to play in the first quarter. Jet sweep running on the right side, following his blockers across the line of scrimmage and out of bounds, short of a 5-yard gain. He'll get a short gain on that play as Felix Jackson, the sophomore wide receiver, had a little bit of momentum and cashed in on a 2-yard gain.
Good play call there. I like it because what you know is they're going to key on Pittman. They're going to put a lot of guys in the box to try to stop him. So you give him a little look early on, bring a receiver across the formation and run him sideline to sideline to extend this defense.
John Carroll coming off a 42-9 win over Sebastian River in this building. 3 receivers left. 1 receiver to the right for quarterback Summerall. He takes a snap, looking to pass on the right side of the man on the island. Carter 39. It's a first down. To move the chains for an HSS first down. John Carroll on the move. Good catch made on that right side as Caleb Madison made that catch.
Yeah, big body receiver is Madison, and he's had 4 touchdowns on the season. But Summerall, again, as soon as he hits the back step, back foot, he's going to bring that football out. And that's what you want in timing routes. Get it out, give the receiver a chance to make a play after the catch.
So in the pistol, once again, is quarterback Summerall. 1st and 10 from the 43. On their own half of the field, Summerall claps his hands, takes the snap, play action pass, fires a dumper out across the middle, incomplete. Off to the races, if that ball was caught, was going to be J.J. Housing, the junior receiver, is a home run threat. I think that pass might have gone through his hands, and it was a very fast thrown ball across the middle by Summerall.
Yeah, I think what happened, he couldn't locate it. Again, you talk about being able to see the football when it comes out, but a defender had his hands in the way, so therefore it blocked his vision on that play for the receiver.
2nd and 10 from the 43. John Carroll with their first possession of the game. Benjamin cashed in with a field goal on their first drive. Golden Rams trying to mount a scoring drive of their own. Summerall motions over the receiver from the right side over to the left to have 3 receivers on that side. They motion out the tailback in that direction as well. As Pittman gets a pass in his direction, it's incomplete. And pardon me, he was not the intended target. Pittman was going out there to block. Instead, they were trying to connect with J.J. Housing once again. Instead, it was off target, and it's now 3rd and 10.
It was, and probably a good thing for Housing, because there was a defender there that was going to kind of wipe his clock. You have to be able to get the football out in space quickly if you're Summerall, but you've got to protect your guys as well. Sometimes you just got to throw it at their feet to protect them.
3rd down and 10 for John Carroll. Pistol formation. Summerall claps his hands. The hard count eventually gets the football. Drops back to pass. Fires the ball. It's swatted down at the line of scrimmage. It's incomplete. A big hit on the quarterback. A big collision of bodies there in the offensive backfield. And it is now 4th down and 10. Benjamin gets a stop. And trotting on to punt this one away will be punter Yatsil Villanueva. So 1 first down on that drive from John Carroll on a passing play, but we're unable to progress the football any further than that. Benjamin gets the football back, and back deep to return for Belser's group will be Camden Giles. 3 protectors for Villanueva, and it's punted away. A good one. A line drive cutting through that wind, returnable from the 20-yard line. 25. Going to the right. 1 tackle broken, but going out of bounds at the 30 is the return man for Benjamin. Giles makes something out of it to give the Buccaneers with the football. Just inside the 30, got the 29.
I'm Benjamin. I'm going right back to what got me down in the red zone before. Got to run the football right and left. We've dominated the line of scrimmage thus far. We're going to make sure we do more of the same here on this second drive.
8:15 reads the first quarter clock here at the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather. Welcome on into John Carroll Catholic High School, the home of the Golden Rams. Beautiful weather night, just gusty winds that'll make things challenging for the deep ball and the kick game. Pitch outside as Chancellor now across the 30 tries to get some positive gains, but he gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Chancellor Reddick again, the touch, the senior back.
Well, I think the Rams had the same idea. We know that they want to run the football. We got to get guys in space. Got to beat the blocks at the point of attack. If you can do that, you can slow this rushing attack down, but you've got to be able to stop Reddick before he gets going. 2
receivers split out wide to the right. 2 receivers split out wide to the left. The ball's on the left hash mark for Benjamin. They're on top 3-0 here with 7:35 to play in the first quarter. Smith under center, hands it off right side. Chancellor Reddick on the carry across the 30 and gets brought down for a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Benjamin offense, putting them in a clear passing down, not the bread and butter for head coach Jason Belser and his group.
Well, you can see here that the Rams have taken it personal. Listen, you ran on us the first drive. You won't do it again. We're going to dedicate more guys around the line of scrimmage. We're not going to miss tackles. We've got to get you before you get started. Good job on the second drive.
Benjamin 3-5, trying to turn their season around here in the tail end of it. 3rd and 8. Smith in the shotgun. Seen him under center a lot so far this evening. A rarity. Trips right. He drops back to pass. Smith have taken the snap. Tucks it. And now he thinks about throwing it. He does. Incomplete. Kind of indecisive there as Charlie Smith took the football once, took 2 steps hard forward, and then in the peripheral vision, he saw his running back, Reddick, spring free for a little bit, fired it behind him, incomplete.
Yeah, sometimes as a quarterback, you think a little too much. You got happy feet on that possession. The rush got there before he got his feet set. And again, his receivers weren't open. So just a little confusion there offensively. Good job there by the Rams on defense.
So that incomplete pass makes it 4th down and 8. Punt team on the field for Benjamin. 1 man deep to return. It is kicked high and shanked. The wind won't help it either. It will go out of bounds, short of midfield. Donovan Richardson, the sophomore return man, never got a chance at it because it was 40 yards short of him. And now John Carroll Catholic will have the best field position of either side so far in this game. They'll take over in plus territory at the 45-yard line. And you have Jackson Summerall and the offense of the Golden Rams itching to take this 1st and 10 snap. But we will have a timeout called, brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost, for a water break timeout. We'll stay right here and remind you that Duffy's Sports Grill is a proud supporter of ESPN West Palm High School Game Day. Duffy's once again voted the best sports grill with their award-winning burgers and wings. Plus, weekday lunch deals, including the Duffy's Double Play starting at just $7.99. Also, make sure you sign up for free to get your Duffy's MVP card and start earning your rewards today. With over 80 TVs in each location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Or maybe a biggest fight. Duffy's has all of them at their locations. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, their game is always on, and that's a great spot to go after your high school football games, maybe your basketball games when we get later and later in the school year. 1st and 10, John Carroll with the football, trying to score for the first time tonight. Benjamin 3, John Carroll 0, 6:32 to play in the first quarter. Hard count, no one jumps. Summerall on the pistol, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers stacked on the right side, ball in that left hash. Another hard count. This time Benjamin jumps the snap, and it is a quarterback run on the mesh. Summerall gets swallowed up. It didn't matter who got the football that time. They were going to lose yardage on the play. It was the lesser of two evils. Summerall eats the football and eats a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
So let me give you a little snapshot here, right? We know that Pittman can average 151 yards a game if we're the Buccaneers. We're not going to give him that option. We're going to blitz on the early downs, get him in long yardage situations. That's the only way we're going to stop him.
Carry Pittman, right side, gets hit at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a gain of a couple, getting back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 as that Benjamin defensive line getting active here early on.
They are, and again, that's how you get it done. Penetration by Benjamin, getting in the backfield, realizing that once Pittman gets to the next level of your defense, it's going to be trouble. So you got to get him before he gets started.
3rd down and 10. Ball is still at the 45-yard line in plus territory. Great field position for the Golden Rams. They're trying to cash in out of here. 3-0. Benjamin on top of 2 with 5:26 to play in the first quarter. Summerall fires it right side. It's caught at the sticks, and it's a conversion. An HSS first down. Making the catch on the sideline is KJ Davis, the junior receiver. Knew where he was on the field, got past the sticks, and toe-tacked. A beautiful play that time by the junior wideout.
Yeah, past the sticks, only 1 foot needed in high school in order to get possession, and he did a great job of putting his hands on the football, catching with his hands, and staying in bounds.
Needed 10, got 12. 1st and 10, John Carroll after the HSS first down. Ball at the 33. In plus territory. Motion out and up back to that left side. 3 receivers on that side now. It's a handoff. Pittman, right side, gets chased down from behind. You won't hear that many times, as a nice play on the ball was made by Mason Bennett. The trailing freshman D end tracked down Pittman and stopped him for just a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Well, it happens because that front side is holding firm. Again, if you stop him and make him indecisive, he has to shuffle his feet and try to make a decision, and then you can get that help from the backside to make the tackle.
Ball down to the 32. Pistol formation, Jackson Summerall takes a snap, drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, fires it near side, incomplete. A lot of contact there, and from way downtown, a penalty flag is thrown on the play. It's interesting because there was an official who had a closer angle on the play. He did not deem there to be contact that would be pass interference on either side, but the official from behind said he saw a grab, and we'll see what the official ruling is here. Indications are that it's going to be against the defense, whether it be a hold or a pass interference. It is going to be a defensive holding. And it will move them deeper and deeper into Benjamin territory. An HSS first down.
Well, the official that made that call was in position. We can see it from this angle because he did grab him. He turned his body, and that didn't allow him to get to the football. So that was a great call by the official. The other two were in position for pass interference, but he called a hold.
1st and 10, John Carroll at the 23-yard line. Summerall in the shotgun. Tailback directly behind him is, as always, Pittman. Jeremy Pittman, the senior running back. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. The ball on the right hash mark. As looking to throw with Summerall. Fires it incomplete. And there's another flag thrown. Probably on the defensive coverage there as it comes in from the back end. The intended target was Donovan Richardson. That ball was thrown over everybody's head, but pass interference is going to be called.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them talk about that one because the ball wasn't catchable. And I realize that's an NFL rule, but again, it was so far over the receiver's head he would have never gotten it. I don't think the defender got in his way enough in order to stop him from getting to the football.
So the pass interference and the yardage will give enough for a first down to the Golden Rams all the way inside the 15. Ball spotted at the 11, it looks like. 1st and 10 from the 11. In the red zone goes John Carroll. We're in the first quarter. 4:29 to play in this first period. John Carroll with the football, but Benjamin has a 3-0 lead. Thank you for listening on the ESPN South Florida app. Thank you for watching on YouTube. YouTube.com/@ESPN Top 63. Fumbled snap, and Summerall cuts his losses and undercuts the offensive lineman to his right side. Thankfully, everyone pops up to their feet. That could have been really dangerous, not just for the possession for John Carroll, but Summerall just kind of played hot potato with the football. I don't think that snap was even that bad. Maybe he was just unprepared for it, and it bounced to the right side, right beneath his right tackle's legs, and Summerall dives for it, and thankfully no cleats got caught in the ground. Everyone's safe and sound, but it is a loss of 4 yards on 1st and 10. Now at the 15-yard line, the football is spotted. 2nd and 14. Summerall claps his hands, takes a snap, looking to pass, looking left. At the goal line, it's incomplete. Looking for a slant route. As Donovan Richardson was the intended target. Clean coverage that time. And it's now 3rd down and 14.
If Summerall brings that one down in the catch radius of his receiver, it's a touchdown. It's a clear touchdown, but ball a little high on that one. Sailed on him because of the wind. It's blowing to his back. The back end of him, he's got to bring it down just a little bit.
3:42 reads the first quarter clock. John Carroll at home on homecoming. Benjamin with a 3-0 lead coming up from Palm Beach Gardens. Summerall looking to pass. Heavy pressure. Gets hit hard. Throws it left side. Caught at the 20-yard line. 15. Stiff arm. Pittman does not get nearly enough. He's brought down at the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 10 from the 11-yard line. And Summerall took a big hit when he unleashed that football from his blind side coming off the left edge. And there is a down John Carroll Golden Ram, and it will trigger a injury timeout brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. We'll step aside. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. However you are watching the John Carroll homecoming game, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be right back after the Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost timeout.
Sean Tim, the injured Ram. Making his way off under his own power. 4th and 11 for the Rams out of timeout.
4th and 11 for John Carroll's offense out of this Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost timeout. And on to the field comes kicker Yatsil Villanueva. Villanueva attempting a 30-yard field goal attempt. A late to arrive. A protector on the offensive line for John Carroll, trying to tie this game up at 3 apiece. Ball on the left hash. The 30-yarder snap, hold, kick is up. And it is no good, wide left from the near sideline, which is the home sideline. Everyone thought that one was good, but Villanueva hooks one a little bit far to the left, and Benjamin will retain their 3-0 lead with 3:23 to play here in the first quarter.
You know, in that last play just before the field goal, Big Sean Tatum, number 74, was hurt on the field. And I would tell all coaches, please get your kids the braces around their legs when they're playing football, around their knees, because those big linemen are taking licks on their legs. They're falling. People are falling on them. I think, honestly, that's what saved him on that play. He got a shot to the left side of his leg. He was able to pop up. I think he'll be back in the game here shortly, but just a big break here for the Rams.
Benjamin back onto the field. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line. Charlie Smith, the quarterback, directing traffic. Senior Charlie Smith, he's on the ESPN Top 63 list that, of course, every single August ahead of the football season, ESPN West Palm projects the top seniors across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Smith made that list representing the Benjamin Buccaneers. Slot receiver put in motion from the right side. They fake it to him, and instead it's a Charlie Smith quarterback run up the middle. Bouncing bodies off of him, and he gains 5 yards. Make it 6 on 1st and 10 to set up 2nd and 4.
He was fortunate to get anything on that play. I think it was a little bit of confusion in the offensive backfield. Smith wanted to throw the ball, and all of a sudden he pulls it down and gets the run. But he protects himself, protects the football, gets his head down, doesn't take that big shot from the defense.
2nd down and 4 from the 26. Line against the 30. Clock reads 2:50 to play in this first quarter. Benjamin with the football, leading 3-0 at John Carroll High School. Smith's got 2 receivers really close to the line on that right side. 2 receivers on the left. They motion the slot man from the left side. Fake it to him on the jet sweep. Instead, it's a throw left side. Losing his footing at the line of scrimmage after making the catch was Caden Faniel. And Faniel gets driven backwards after making the catch right around the line of scrimmage. He will lose 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
That's tough for a defender to be able to come up and make that play in open space, but good job there by the Rams of rallying. Not only the outside defensive back make the tackle, but people started to come rallying from the inside to assist in that, and that's why they got him off the field.
2:06 to play in the first quarter. Benjamin 3, John Carroll 0. Charlie Smith is going to start under center. Kind of a rarity in high school football these days. We see a lot of these guys mimicking, comes from their top down. The NFL did it, so then college, all in the shotgun. And now you have a handoff right side as Chancellor makes the carry for 4 yards and is stopped short of the line to gain. Decision time for head coach Jason Belser. It'll be 4th down and 1, and that offense of Benjamin is staying on the field. They've got a veteran quarterback in Charlie Smith. Maybe they're going to have him with a hard count, try to get a free 1st down. But before we do have this 4th and 1 snap made, a sports certified, powered by Vitacost timeout is called to allow either side to think it through. And while we have a quick moment to tell you about one of the wonderful partners that we have covering high school sports across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, Moss Plus by Messi. It's a hydration plus more, a beverage like no other, made to give everyone, not just the elite athletes, an extra boost of positivity and inspiration every single day. Created by Lionel Messi, Moss Plus delivers a balanced blend of electrolytes with natural flavors, no artificial sweeteners or colors, no caffeine, and only 1 gram of cane sugar, plus vitamins and more, with no compromise on quality ingredients and an amazing taste. Floridians can purchase Moss Plus by Messi at key retailers across Florida or online at MossPlusByMessi.com. Punt team takes the field for Benjamin after they decide against the aggressive play here. So on to punt this one away is Nick Skillen, the junior. With 1:24 to play in the first quarter, good snap. He catches it right at the chest and boots this one away. Returnable for John Carroll. It checks up at the 41 and won't get a good roll for Benjamin. Instead, John Carroll will take over at their own 42-yard line. Much better punt that we saw last time from this side of the Buccaneers. Remember, they shanked the first one and it went out of bounds at the 45. This one gets considerably more distance, and it will put their defense on the field with a little bit more wiggle room. Golden Rams take over at their own 42. 1st and 10, John Carroll.
Keep in mind, there's a stiff wind going from the east to the west, so you have to, as a punter, you got to keep the football down. You get it caught up in the wind, you're gonna shank it like you did before.
1st and 10, John Carroll with their all-black uniforms, blue helmets. Summerall, the quarterback, claps his hands, takes a snap, running it right side. Pittman runs into the back of his tight end or tackle on that right side and hits the ground quickly thereafter. It's only a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, a lot of guys around the line of scrimmage. They're going to make sure that Pittman doesn't get that 151 tonight if they can help it on the side of the Buccaneers. just dedicating a lot of guys first and second down to the run defense, making sure that they cover all the gaps to try to stop it.
Make it a 2-yard gain, if that. Second and long, as Summerall hands it off. Pittman up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and goes right through a linebacker of Benjamin, delivering a big blow to gain around 5 yards. He's still short of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and that was a car crash in the middle.
Yeah, some of those guys were down after that play for a couple of seconds. Pittman delivered the blow to them instead of them hitting him like they had done on previous plays.
3rd and 3, line to gain is cross midfield of the 48. The ball's to the 49, short of midfield. Summerall takes a snap. Pittman once again. Pittman gets the line to gain and a little bit more for an HSS first down. Across to the 43-yard line. Move the chains for the home team.
There he goes, Jeremy Pittman again. That guy again, he's been able to bend the line of scrimmage. Let me tell you something. Those 5-yard runs will eventually turn into 20 if you give him a break through that line of scrimmage.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at John Carroll Catholic High School. Benjamin 3, John Carroll nothing. A battle of the run games, and Benjamin struck first. John Carroll capturing some momentum here, pairing a stop with a first down, and they're in plus territory. And while they switch sides, a reminder of a wonderful partner of ours at ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, Smith, Ball, Bias, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers, proud to be the presenting sponsors of High School Game Day on ESPN 106.3. If you've been in a car accident, call now for a free consultation. The sooner you call, the sooner the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Bias, and Prather can go to work for you. They can put their extensive experiences and resources to work and get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. You do not pay anything unless they make a recovery for you. You can call right now. The number is simple, 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Bias, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. They have offices conveniently located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Thank you to Smith, Ball, Bias, and Prather for supporting high school sports across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. We enter the second quarter. John Carroll with the football, trailing to Benjamin 3-0.
It's tough, CCAT, to be patient offensively, especially when you're averaging over 35 points a game. But that's what happened tonight to the Rams. They've got to be patient, try to put together a couple of first downs on this drive.
Summerall looking to throw a deep ball near side. Caught to the 28. Out of bounds for a gain and an HSS first down. Nice catch made that time by Donovan Richardson. An even better route run to spring him free. He's at the 29, 1st and 10.
Yeah, strong throw by Summerall because he's going against the wind here in the second quarter. So he's got to keep the football down, doesn't allow it to sell on him on that play. Do it outside where only his receiver could catch it.
Pistol formation. Pittman in the backfield with quarterback Summerall. Left snap. It gets to Pittman eventually, and Pittman runs into the wall. That is the trenches of Benjamin and John Carroll. Getting chippy out there. It's a 1 or 2 yard gain on 1st and 10, setting up 2nd and long.
It's so used to having success are the Rams running the football, and you said it, getting chippy because guys are going after their play. The officials are allowing them to play, but they're going to keep a real close eye on how much movement there is after the whistle.
Exactly. Playing through the whistle, not after the whistle, is the key terminology there. To stay aggressive, stay dangerous, but not put your team behind the sticks or give free first downs. Summerall with 2 receivers left, lone receiver right to hand off. Pittman left side. Pittman's got space. 20, 15, sidestep on his feet, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, John Carroll. Jeremy Pittman finds the end zone from 27 yards out.
I was just talking about those short runs turn into home runs because Jeremy Pittman is a blur. He's not a big guy, but he has great vision, great speed, and once he gets through the line of scrimmage, good luck in the secondary trying to tackle him.
Pittman outruns the Benjamin defense once he sprung free and had some open space. That gives John Carroll the lead, 6-3, and on for the point after is Villanueva. Snap, hold, kick is up. He missed the field goal, but he did not miss the point after. It's 7-3. John Carroll leads by 4 after the 28-yard touchdown run from Jeremy Pittman, brought to you by Racetrack. And I mentioned Racetrack. They're more than just a one-stop shop for a football tailgate. No, they are our team's biggest fan. With their whatever gets you going style of convenience, Racetrack is your go-to for all game day essentials. From ice cold drinks, salty snacks, sweet treats, and freshly made in-house pizza, Racetrack proudly operates under the mission of making people's lives simpler, more enjoyable, serving as a one-stop shop for quality and convenience on the go. At a Racetrack, you're more than just a customer. You're part of the team. 7.5 million customers strong every single week. From Friday Night Lights to unforgettable touchdowns that light up the scoreboard, Racetrack is proud to support and fuel the passion and spirit of our young athletes. I can speak from experience. Racetrack's got everything you need for your football Friday nights. They've got some stuff you never even heard of. How about a frozen Hawaiian Punch or a frozen Sprite? That's all at Racetrack. Make sure you incorporate them in your Friday night routine, maybe your everyday routine. Nearly an onside kick, but the ball goes out of bounds. You think of an onside kick that goes maybe 15 yards down the field. This one went about 40 yards down the field and was nearly recovered at the 30 by John Carroll, who just kicked it off. He hit it with his right arm. If he possessed it and got a foot in bounds, it would be a successful onside kick. I don't know if the Golden Rams, looks like it was Donovan Richardson, possessed it or if he just knocked it in bounds. Those are the deciding factor of whether or not it's a successful onside kick or if it is a kick out of bounds.
Well, they got to wave this one off because what happened was he went down, he tried to throw it back in bounds, tried to possess it and throw it back in bounds. So the official threw the flag. The ball had traveled 10 yards, so I don't understand why they would throw the flag on that play.
Looks like Benjamin's offense is on the field, and that is the explanation right now being given to the John Carroll sideline that John Carroll never possessed it while in bounds. If he possessed it, then walked out of bounds, and that's more the merrier. That is a successful onside kick. But if you try to knock it in bounds, that's not doing anyone good. It will be Benjamin football, and they will start with good field position because of the kick out of bounds. So Buccaneers will start at their own 40-yard line. 1st and 10 and Benjamin. Pistol formation. Charlie Smith is in the shotgun. He's mixed it up. Mostly been under center so far this evening. And here's now in the shotgun with behind him the running back Reddick. They'll give it to Reddick up the middle. The carry gets positive yardage on 1st and 10. It ends up being a 3-yard gain.
Well, you wonder how much Benjamin is going to throw the football this quarter. They got the wind to their back. But Reddick has been hot. He's been that guy. 7 carries here in the first half, 60 yards, and almost scored. Well, he actually scored a touchdown, but it was called back because of holding. But he's been their offense here in the first half. We'll see how much they lean on him.
10-18 to play in the first half. 7-3 is the score. The home team, John Carroll, on top by 4. Benjamin trying to answer as they find themselves behind for the first time this evening. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Ball near the middle of the field. The man brought in motion from the right slot. They fake it to him on a jet sweep. Instead, it's Smith. He's going to tuck it, looking to throw down the sideline. Incomplete. Looking for a one-handed highlight catch was Caden Nathaniel, but the senior receiver was unable to get enough vertical to hit that on his glove, and it's incomplete. So now it is 3rd down and 7. Line to gain is midfield. Ball is spotted at the 43.
Great job there by Devin Lewis of being in position to force Charlie Smith to have to throw that ball a little bit further than he wanted to. He was right in the receiver's hip, and that's how you play DB. Don't give him an edge because if he can, he'll be able to catch the football.
Windy night here in Fort Pierce. Benjamin trying to pull off an upset. They find themselves down by 4. 2 receivers right, lone receiver left. Smith looking to pass. Looking right, tucking. He's going to now run across the 45, dragging forward, and he ends up 2 yards short. Make it 1 yard short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down and 1, and you see a lot of substitutions come onto the field for Benjamin as they will punt this one away.
They're playing field position because of the weather. Again, the wind is going to dictate what you can do offensively. You can't put it up. They tried 2 times on that possession to throw the ball, ran it 1 time. But again, that's the thing that's going to hurt you tonight. Getting the ball up, caught up in that wind. It's either going to get intercepted or something bad's going to happen for you.
Punt team on. It is Nick Skillen. He had a good punt last time. Now he has the wind at his back. Snap lower, but he catches it and boots it away. A low line drive kick. He's going to returnable from the 19-yard line. Across the 30. Donovan on his feet. Richardson gets brought down at the 35. And that is where John Carroll Catholic will start this drive in the second quarter. 9:03 to play in the first half. It's John Carroll 7, Benjamin 3. Again, now throwing into the wind is going to be John Carroll, as you astutely pointed out, Coach.
Yeah, it's tough because, again, you get the ball caught up in that wind, that gives the defender a chance to run up under it. But if you keep it at a low level, almost like beating it right in there, you can get a nice pass, and that's why you'll see them throw a lot of slants, something real quick, nothing deep down the field. You don't want it to get caught up.
And, Coach, I don't recall what the weather was like the past 5 days, but it's hard to practice that, right? Like when you need to throw the football in the wind, how do you simulate that at a high school level? It's not like they are the Miami Dolphins who can simulate any weather events. You kind of just have to take advantage of it when you can and adjust on the fly, and maybe in pregame.
Yeah, I'm chuckling because I'm a Dolphin fan, and I don't think they can do much in any kind of weather right now.
A sports certified powered toss is called, a timeout called, before this first drive for this first play of the drive is called by John Carroll. 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. And while we have a break in the action, a reminder about HSS, a proud partner of ESPN West Palm High School Game Day. In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, your orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and in Wellington, learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better. That is HSS Florida. Clock reads 9:03 to play in the first half. John Carroll with a 4-point lead, 7-3. They've got the football at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Golden Rams. Press coverage on both outside receivers. They split out Pittman in motion, but it's a quarterback draw left side as Summerall takes a hit to the chops and gains 7.5 yards on 1st and 10.
Well, he's tough, and that's a check with me. So if I get a press coverage on the outside, I'm going to run a guy out to the flat to see if they're in man-to-man. If no one goes, I know they're in a zone. So you're just going to pull it down, quick quarterback, sneak up the middle, at about 7 yards on that play. Good offensive play.
2nd down and short, line against the 45. John Carroll on their own half of the field here with 8:34 to play in the first half. 3 receivers on the right side, lone receiver on the left. Pittman put in motion to the right side once again, and now it's another quarterback run. Summerall this time gets swallowed up, and the D-line feasts and pushes John Carroll back several yards to set up 3rd and 5.
So that's design. I mean, he's going to come to the line of scrimmage. He's going to look at the formation. He'll pull it down, but he's got to give him a chance to get up the field first before he takes off, to give him the lineman a chance to set up the blocks. Took off a little too quickly, did Summerall on that play.
So now it's 3rd and 5. Talked about the wind and the run game that John Carroll depends on, has powered them to a 6-2 season so far. Press coverage on the outside once again, showing pressure right up the middle is Benjamin. Their big linebacker, Ryan Brown, it looks like, wants to send some pressure right up the middle. Summerall takes a snap, takes it himself up the middle. Broken tackle across the 50, 45, 40. There goes Summerall at the 30-yard line. He's brought down for a big gain on 3rd and 5. HSS first down. Summerall just shows that point A to point B speed, north and south.
Well, that's a good problem to have offensively. You got a quarterback that can pull it down and run. So often you get a guy who's stationary, he's throwing the ball, but they're playing press coverage on the outside, so it's difficult to get any quick slants. It's got to be something that'll go up in the air. Benjamin knows that he's going to force them to throw the ball, down the field if he can, but he got a nice couple of running plays on there for Summerall.
HSS first down, sets up 1st and 10 from the 28 in plus territory. Summerall on the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Directly behind him is tailback Pittman. He's going to look to throw. Summerall fires a deep ball near pylon, incomplete. Again, into the wind.
Yeah.
If that's in a dome, that ball is probably right on target to his wide receiver split out wide.
Well, and no wind, that's going to be a perfect touchdown pass because, again, the wind pushed it toward the sideline. As a receiver, you want to give your quarterback some room to throw it, but the wind on that dictated the ball going further out than it normally would have.
It's funny. You can almost hear the wind in the crowd mic, and there was a gust in the middle of that play while the ball was in the air. An immersive experience on the ESPN South Florida app. Download it today, and you can watch live on Twitter at ESPN Top 63, on Facebook at ESPN West Palm, and on YouTube. My favorite way to watch the game at ESPN Top 63. Handoff right side, and Pittman gets stuck in the mud. He gains a couple of yards and is dropped short of the 25-yard line. Spot him at the 26.
Yeah, if Mosley doesn't come from the backside, we're striking up the band again because he came from his backside on the right side in, and he caught Pittman in the backfield. But, again, he has to hesitate just a moment, gives the defense a chance to catch him from the backside. But you better stop him before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 2 yards. It's 3rd and 8 for John Carroll. They've got a kick game, so it's definitely not two-down territory. But with the wind, who knows? Summerall takes a snap, hands it off. Pittman bouncing it off left tackle. He's got some space. Stiff arm spin moving. He gets brought down just past the line to gain. It's an HSS first down.
And because Mosley has so much speed from that right side defensive end, you run right at him. You neutralize him. What you do is when you run at him, get a big blocker on him, you say, listen, little guy, if you're going to go outside, we're going inside. If you go inside, we're going outside. But you have to neutralize that speed by running draws at him. Great play call.
And a timeout is called for a hydration timeout. And a place that knows a thing or two about hydration is VitaCost. It's a timeout brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by VitaCost. When we return, 1st and 10 for John Carroll. They've got the football deep into Benjamin territory. It's Benjamin 3, John Carroll 7. John Carroll with a 4-point lead, trying to extend that here on ESPN 106.3.
Help improve, take the talents to the next level. And the bathrooms are open in there. And John Carroll's Open House is November 12th. And all families interested in learning more about John Carroll, please make sure to come by and see what JCHS has to offer.
First and 10, John Carroll with the football on offense. They're at the 16-yard line. Line to gain is the 6. In the red zone is the Golden Rams and that dynamic rushing attack, the 1-2 punch or the 1-0 punch. Wearing down 1, Summerall. Pittman gets a carry wearing number 0. Big block, 15-10. And he's brought down just short of the 5-yard line. First and goal, John Carroll on the HSS first down.
That's why he's such a problem, because he gets behind a big offensive line. He gets lost. And as a defender, you're looking for him. Where is he? Where is he? Then all of a sudden, someone smashes you from that offensive line, and here comes Pittman on the other side.
First and goal from the 5. Summerall on the pistol. Tight end left. 2 receivers right, lone receiver left. Looks like to be a run. No, it's a quarterback run. Left side across the 10. Benjamin wasn't fooled, and a tackle's made in the offensive backfield for a loss on first and goal from the 5. Really good discipline shown that time by the Buccaneer defense, because it looked like a no-doubter, give it to Pittman and get out of the way. Summerall pulls the sheet out from under the offense and gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Spotted him officially maybe at the 6. They're going to mark him at the 7-yard line. Second and goal from the 7. Tight end right, 2 receivers right, lone receiver left. Pistol formation, Summerall. Hands it off, Pittman up the middle. Bouncing off tackles at the 5, and Pittman can essentially moonwalk into the end zone if he wants to. He's in for 6. Once again, as you mentioned, Coach, it's Pittman getting lost behind that offensive line and just shot outside, and there was no one to be found.
Yeah, he had he was in first gear, and then all of a sudden he just cruises in because no one's there. Once you get lost behind the offensive line, there's really nobody there. He just walks to the outside, great blocking by his line and by his wide receivers.
On for the point after is kicker Villanueva. From the 10, snap, hold, kick is up. It's got the distance, of course, and it is through for a good extra point, which are not guaranteed with the wind gusts that we've had here tonight in Fort Pierce. A 6-yard, make it a 7-yard touchdown run brought to you by Racetrack as Jeremy Pittman finds the end zone for the second time tonight. 4:34 to play in the first half. John Carroll scores back-to-back touchdowns to lead 14-3 here on YouTube at ESPN Top 63 and on the ESPN South Florida app. Download it today if you have not. That is your home for Kaiser sports, high school sports, Inter-Miami soccer, local ESPN West Palm daily programming like Russo and Rizzo and Theoretically Speaking, live and local every single day from 2 to 6 p.m. at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Download the ESPN South Florida app today. It is your one-stop shop for sports across Palm Beach County, the Treasure Coast, and South Florida as a whole. Villanueva kicks us one to the second level. It's returnable at the 28. It's broken tackle, 30, 35, making something out of nothing at the 40-yard line. A nice return that time made by Markel Etienne. The sophomore did a little bit of a broken tackle shake off to shake free from a golden ram on the return game, and he gives Benjamin some pretty good field position. Here with 4:27 to play in the first half, Benjamin down by 11. They would love to get some points here. And as we've been talking about throughout the night, they've got the wind at their backs.
Yeah.
So the playbook is not completely closed shut.
Well, you knew early on that John Carroll was going to score points. They're averaging 37 points, 35, 37 points a game. So you're Benjamin. You got to score. You can't keep ending these drives with kicks. You've got to be able to hold on to the football and give your defense a rest and try to get some points on this end.
Ball at their own 43. It is a play-action pass. Smith rolling to his right. Fires a deep ball. It is incomplete. I think Charlie Smith snuck that into a beautiful window, and his intended target was not ready for it. Jackson Link had some space. Smith threw a beautiful ball that I think just got lost through a couple of hands of the defenders.
Devin Lewis at the last. That's the guy again, Devin Lewis. He comes up. He should have intercepted that football, but he misjudged, mistimed it. And again, you mentioned it was a great throw by Charlie Smith. Had his receiver being able to see the ball, was distracted by the defender. Had he been able to see it, he would have walked into the end zone.
2nd and 10 from the 43. Benjamin with the football down by 11. 4:19 clock stopped on the incomplete pass in this first half. 2-back set. Smith is flanked by a couple of backs. Takes a snap, and they run it up the middle. This time the carry goes to the big man, Gabe Bowens. Running back Bowens gains about 4 yards on 2nd and 10. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Change up the pace a little bit, get a bigger back in there, try to pound this defense, keep your offense on the field. Again, this is not always you want to score points, but you've got to be able to flip the field, keep your defense on the sideline, give them some rest. And so far, so good for the Buccaneers. They got to get a first down here on 3rd down.
Ball goes from the 43 to the 47. 3rd down and 6. Coach Pelser for Benjamin's been a little bit conservative so far tonight. We'll see how much Benjamin needs to get here if they don't get the first down for him to consider going for it. Charlie Smith in the shotgun. Empty set, 3 receivers to the right side. He throws to that direction, and it's thrown high, incomplete. Trying to climb the ladder was junior receiver Braxton Peterson and was unable to bring it down. Through the wind, that ball kind of took off on Smith, and now the punt team is on the field for the Buccaneers. Nick Skillen on a kick this one away.
Yeah, so many defenders in Charlie Smith's face that time. They didn't get to him, but they forced him to throw the ball, make an errant throw. Again, throwing it outside, trying to throw it sidearm. And again, that's day one of camp. You don't get there, get your hands up, try to get in the path of the quarterback to at least deflect the football.
Snap is fine. The catch is made. Nearly blocked, but a good punt from Skillen. It's returnable from the 18. Across the 20, 25, 30. Broken tackle. Donovan on his feet. Richardson across the 30. 35. Flag on the play. 40, 50. And brought down right around midfield. But there are 2 penalty flags at the 30-yard line. I think we might see a blindside block or at least a hold on this one to take a lot of that yardage back and move it deeper into their own territory for John Carroll. The clock reads 3:10 to play in the first half. 14-3, John Carroll on top of Benjamin on the HSS game of the week.
Well, that blindside block, if that one's called, that's a big one. That's a 15-yarder. And you call that because the defender is running toward the return guy, and he didn't see the blocker. And so all of a sudden he hits him on the side. That's a blindside block. They call it at every level, high school, college, and pro, just to protect players.
Yeah, peel block where you
yeah.
can really take advantage of a guy who's not really ready for it. And it's considered a cheap shot and a penalty play now, but maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that is the play you look forward to when you're practicing on Monday through Thursday and you finally see an opposite jersey on the other side of the field. 3:10 to play in this first half. John Carroll with the football, starting on their own 20-yard line after the yardage is assessed on the penalty. Looking to pass to Summerall, fires it left side, incomplete. Led his receiver a little bit too far towards the sideline and unable to make a play on the ball was his intended target. 2nd and 10, clock stops with 3:04 to play in the first half.
So that's where it's going to be more difficult to throw it toward the sideline. That's where the wind is going to be gusting a little bit more. If you get it in the middle of the field, you can direct line it right in there. If it's a curl, if it's a slant route, that's going to be your best options to pass the football down the field tonight.
2 receivers right, ball on the right hash mark. 2 receivers split out wide to the left. Pistol formation where Jackson Summerall. He's the senior quarterback for John Carroll, and the shotgun directly behind him is the touchdown man this evening, Jeremy Pittman, responsible for the only touchdowns in this game. They fake it to him. They throw it right side, caught at the 20, trucking through tacklers, and he had a bounce short of the line to gain. Good run up the catch that time by junior receiver K.J. Davis. He gains 7 yards on 2nd and 10. It'll amount 3.
You put a big man outside for 2 reasons. 1, he can run through arm tackles like that, and 2, the jump ball. But KJ on that play helped this offense, got 2 or 3 more yards because he was able to run through a smaller defender.
Summerall claps his hands. No one jumps, and now he looks towards his sideline. Rudy gives him a play call. Press coverage on KJ, near side. Spread formation, pistol formation. Is looking to pass. Summerall throws it outside, left side, caught at the line to gain. It's very close to a first down. They're going to mark him actually 1 yard short, or maybe the feet of the receiver was at the line to gain, but the hands and where that ball was caught was short of the necessary yardage. Felix Jackson on the catch, but he's 1 yard short of a first down. 4th and 1 coming up. For now, the offense on the field for head coach Mickey Grudy and the John Carroll Golden Rams. 4th and 1, need the 30. They're at the 29. Summerall claps his hands on the hard count. No one jumps. The clock is now rolling. Maybe some on-game strategy here to take some time off the clock and not allow the Benjamin Buccaneers to have all the time they need. Another hard count, not biting. I applaud this game plan from John Carroll. Summerall claps his hands, hard count. No one jumps once again. And now a timeout's going to be called by the Golden Rams. And do you think that I'm right in my assessment on that call, Coach?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, good gamesmanship. Hey, listen, I'm going to take the 5-yard penalty. I realize that if I get you to jump, I'm in great position. But if not, then okay, we'll kick it away. I don't want to give it to you right there because you stop us on 4th down. Now you get the momentum, and the ball's going the other way.
And also in the process of that, Benjamin just has a lot less time. And
Yes,
for an offense that relies on the run game, they need all the time they can get because the pass game simply has not been there for Benjamin so far in this game. A timeout called before the delay of game penalty was assessed. So it is a sports certified, powered by Vitacost timeout called by John Carroll there. 1:24 to play here in the first half. The ball spotted at the 29-yard line. That is where John Carroll will be punting it away from on 4th and 1. Back deep to return for Benjamin is Camden Giles, the sophomore receiver, free safety, and return man. And you know what? John Carroll's going to be punting into the wind here. So you're going to see Villanueva try to keep this one low on the ground.
So you see the tight punt. You don't have anybody outside. Because,
It's a fake.
Oh.
Left side. Carry. Did he get enough? It's going to be close to the line to gain. It looks like the initial spot is good. And, yes, they move the chains. How about the guts from John Carroll on their own 29, where Benjamin has not had a lot of success offensively, rolling the dice with their special teams on a direct snap to their up back, a fake punt, and a conversion. 1st and 10, Golden Rams. They gained 2, and they needed 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they had everybody in tight so that they wouldn't allow them to rush in, but they called a fake on that. It worked great on Carroll. Now they got to try to capitalize.
1st and 10 from the 31. Summerall looking to pass. Throws it across the middle. Caught by KJ. Broken tackle. Stayed on his feet. And now he's dragging tacklers past midfield to the 45-yard line. KJ Davis.
A big body receiver, as I mentioned earlier, able to run through 2 or 3 tackles. Did Davis. Great catch also.
Under center of Summerall. He'll spike the football to stop the clock with 43.7 seconds to play in the first half. Nice play that time made by Summerall to hit Davis right in his hands. and let Davis get that yak, yards after both catch and contact. It looked like Davis was sandwiched by 2 different Buccaneers while he was in the air, and those 2 hits offset one another where he just stayed where he was. 2nd and 10 after the spike. As Summerall pumps right now, throws left on a go route, far sideline. It's deflected and incomplete. Nice play made in the football in the secondary, that time made by Markel Etienne. The sophomore couldn't have better position on the receiver to deflect that ball incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, running right in the hip of the receiver, kind of like early on that Devin Lewis did on the side for John Carroll. Just being in position, not allowing him to go up at the highest point to catch the football.
And John Carroll playing with a little bit of fire here. Fake punt, now a deep ball with that wind that holds the football up in the air for a long time. Sometimes you have to make your right receiver almost play defense.
I'm going to KJ again if I can get it to him because I've got one-on-one outside.
36 seconds to play in this first half. Heavy pressure up the middle. Good coverage on the blitz. Throwing it left side, deflected and incomplete. Looks like if they got the football to Jonathan Richardson, he would have had a lot of space to run. There's a flag in the offensive backfield. It probably will be a hold against the Rams. I talked about a great blitz pickup. Maybe it wasn't necessarily a legal cover of the blitz, and it will be a hold against John Carroll. That's an incomplete pass on 3rd down. I think that Benjamin might decline that penalty and make them punt it away.
Yeah, but I'll take that hold. You know why? Because my quarterback was going to get blown up. So sometimes the hold is a good thing because if you miss that block, wow, it's going to hurt you.
They're going to accept the penalty and replay that 3rd down after the 10-yard penalty, maybe playing the field position game. And head coach for the Buccaneers, Jason Belser, is going to trust his defense to make a play on 3rd and 20. Move the football on the spot to the 44-yard line, short of midfield. They have a free safety back there. Maybe wants to have some easy pickings. Summerall throws a deep ball high near sideline. KJ Davis made an unbelievable catch. It's an HSS first down. KJ Davis climbs the ladder, changes the light bulb, makes the catch, and moves the change. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking to play before. Go to him because he's one-on-one outside a big receiver. And that's what you have to do. Find the matchup on the field they'll put you in the best position. KJ Davis has shown all night long he can go up and get the 50-50 ball, but he can also run over defenders.
From the 44 all the way past midfield to the 34. Nice play made from Summerall, trusting his big receiver to make the catch and make the conversion. They spiked the ball on 1st and 10 to stop the clock with 19 seconds to go in this first half. John Carroll's looking to add on to their 11-point lead. Right now it's 14-3. Carroll on top of Benjamin, and whistles blow before the 2nd down and 10 snap is made.
It's calling for someone with equipment. They got to come off the field for one play.
And yes, that is Felix Jackson. The wide receiver jogs out. Taking his place is Jacob Brennan. Despite throwing into the fan, John Carroll has looked strong here on their 1-minute drill. Handoff, Pittman, following blockers, 30, 25, 20. There goes Jeremy Pittman. How about 3 touchdowns in the first half? Jeremy Pittman in the end zone, 4-6. A 33-yard touchdown run, and John Carroll is on top, 20-3.
Get behind his big offensive lineman, Trey Jackson, and he just hid behind him and got to the secondary, and he was gone. I mean, just a blur, as I mentioned earlier. Such a great running back to have in the backfield because he understands how to run the color, and that's why this offense is average over 30 points a game, and he is average over 151 yards a game.
Here's the point after. It is blocked. A low kick that went into the back of the shoulder pads of the offensive line as they are unable to convert on the point after. With 11 seconds to play in the first half, John Carroll leads 20-3 here on YouTube at ESPN Top 63, on Facebook at ESPN West Palm, and on the ESPN South Florida app. How about that? 19 seconds to play in the first half. You're outside of the 30-yard line, and you want to draw play to Jeremy Pittman. That's exactly how much head coach Mickey Grudy trusts that running attack, that offensive line of John Carroll.
But what do you got to lose? I mean, if they come up with stuff to run, you go to halftime. But if they miss, and they miss badly on that, if you miss the tackle on that, again, that's the end result of a guy who scored 13 touchdowns on the season now. Will actually add 3 to that, 16 on the season.
And it was pretty cool to see Jeremy Pittman, as fast as he is, he actually didn't run as fast as he could. He had one left arm on his offensive lineman as this one's kicked short and fair caught at the 40-yard line. 10 seconds to play in this first half as Benjamin will take over. Pittman was directing traffic like the Le'Veon Bell type style run and then shoved him forward to take care of the last guy. Yeah. And Jeremy Pittman was nice and quick.
Yeah, I'll take it from here, my man. Just get on to the side there, you know. That's what you need in the running back position, a guy that can give you the home run if you need to, because as you mentioned, C-Cat, not knowing it is a defense where the ball is, that's a big problem for you.
So Benjamin, we'll see how aggressive they are here. I don't anticipate very aggressive with 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line.
In loving memory. I'm not dead yet.
So under center is Charlie Smith, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right side, and he'll just take a knee on it and take it to halftime. And we will go to the halftime break, brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage. 20-3, the homecoming Golden Rams of John Carroll Catholic High School lead by 17 here on ESPN South Florida app, on the YouTube channel of ESPN Top 63, on Facebook, ESPN West Palm, and on X at ESPN Top 63. We will take a break, actually get insight on the brand new field house at John Carroll Catholic High School, give you some halftime reaction, and preview the second half here at John Carroll Catholic High School. 20-3, John Carroll on top.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the evening, the time that you have all been waiting for. Our 2025-2026 homecoming court introductions, and of course, the crowning of the John Carroll High School 2025-2026 homecoming king and homecoming queen. For a decade, that John Carroll homecoming has been a great tradition, welcoming alumni back to campus and celebrating the week of school spirit. This week's theme revolved around a night in the stars, which included many fun-themed dress days, including an out-of-this-world dress day, and under-the-sea dress day, a dress like Adam Sandler Day, a welcome to Augusta dress day, and of course, today's theme of John Carroll spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride and pleasure that we now begin the introduction of our homecoming court. We will begin tonight by recognizing the members of our 9th grade class. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the freshmen, we have first and foremost Miss Lily Priest and Mr. J.J. Lee. Next up, we have Ellie Neal and Fisher Blackwell, and Mr. Cash Cullen is walking for Fisher as he is ill this evening and could not join us. And last but certainly not least for the freshman, the Yerkes Villanueva, who is escorted by Mr. Jordan Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up your 9th grade homecoming court. Next up, we'll move into our 10th graders. Representing the sophomore class, we have Mr. Jamil McLean with Miss Charlotte Denise. Next up, we have Mr. Lucas Bush, who is with Miss Brindley Elwood. And rounding out our 10th graders, we have Mr. Daniel Price and Miss Cynthia Barrett. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our 10th grade homecoming court. Next up for our 11th graders, we have Miss Isabella Porcelli, who's escorted by Mr. Carter Woodson. Next up, we have Cammie Clyde, escorted by Dominic Weber. And last but certainly not least, Miss Maddie Lucas, who's escorted by Mr. Logan Blair. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your junior representatives of homecoming court. And next up, the moment you've all been waiting for, our senior class court representatives. We'll begin with Miss Sarai Alfonso, who is escorted by Mr. Tyven Eccles. Next up, we have Miss Callie Clyde, who's escorted by Mr. Jacob Smith. Next up, Miss Carson King, who's escorted by Mr. Xander Lemons. Next up, we have Lorelai Gonzalez, who is escorted by Mr. Nico Fasano. Next up, we have Miss Ellie Ashton, who is escorted by Mr. Brody Neal. And last but certainly not least, we have Miss Sammy Richter, who is escorted by Mr. Paul Ziskowski. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our 12th grade homecoming court representatives. As our final representatives are making their way to their place on the field, I'd like to take this moment to go ahead and explain a little bit of how these representatives have been elected by their peers. Our individuals representing 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade are selected by their peers on a general vote basis. Additionally, our 12th grade court nominees were placed on an additional King and Queen ballot, which was distributed out to the student body during homecoming week. All students vote on homecoming King and Queen, and their individuals were emblematic of John Carroll's beliefs and core values and best represent the spirit of John Carroll High School. The tradition of nominating and voting for a homecoming King and Queen is as old as John Carroll itself, and we are proud to continue this storied tradition. Prior to the announcement of our King and Queen, can we please have one final round of applause for all of our homecoming court representatives? And ladies and gentlemen, can I please get a drum roll in the stand? Your 2025 John Carroll High School homecoming king is Xander Lemon. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask for yet another drum roll, please. Your 2025 John Carroll High School homecoming queen is Miss Sammy Richter. Congratulations to Sammy and Xander. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your 2025 John Carroll High School homecoming king and queen, Xander Lemon and Sammy Richter.
Yeah, he's gonna say he didn't see it. Nah, there was definitely not huge. A couple, maybe. But mostly not. Yeah.
On behalf of our entire faculty and staff and administrative team, it is our pleasure to thank all of our homecoming court nominees and, of course, our new homecoming king and queen. Ladies and gentlemen, you are at this time welcome to head back towards the track. And ladies and gentlemen, in the stands, please stick around for a special cheer performance by our John Carroll cheerleaders during halftime.
Hey, the band is trying to play. Why do we have the band? The band is playing. Every time, I know, but every time they played, y'all have played a song. There's no point to have them here. I think you have to. Now you can play whatever you want. The band's done.
And we are back here during the Safebound Moving and Storage halftime show. I'm Christian Count on the call alongside with the camera guy, the guy with boots on the ground, the guy who did the site survey, the guy who broke everything down from up top, up above here at John Carroll High School, Cade Chumsland. Coach, you were behind the camera today. You were surveying things from the bird's eye view. We saw a run game of John Carroll just continue to get progress, then broke free in that second quarter. What did you see from up above?
This game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. Whether it's John Carroll's offensive line going to be able to make holes for Jeremy Pittman and that run crew, or if Benjamin's defensive line is going to be able to show some penetration. Benjamin so far has been trying to both establish a run game and a pass game. John Carroll has just been able to stop them on defense. And right now, the team that is winning in the trenches has been John Carroll. Jeremy Pittman, a man who, like you said all night, has been the sole offensive power for this Rams team, was actually our Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week very early on in this season in his Week 0 game, because he also had a hat trick in that game. I mean, he is the king of hat tricks so far as a running back in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, showing it again tonight. A game that I thought was going to be very close between two dynamic offenses that have been able to show you both on the ground, through the air. The wind is significant. I'm up top on the roof of this press box. It is windy up there. So what you're seeing the ball do is definitely true to how I'm feeling it up top.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. Like, you are at the height of which these deep balls are being thrown, of which these punts are being kicked to. It's got to be as advertised, right? We're not overselling how much.
No, you're not. You're not only am I feeling it, you're seeing the ball do it mid-air. Like, I have not seen one kick, whether an extra point or a kickoff, go cleanly end over end. They're going sideways. They're going almost knuckleball style, trying to get any penetration through this wind. It's impressive that John Carroll has gotten all of their touchdowns in the second quarter, because that's the direction the wind is coming from. They've scored every time going through the wind, into the wind. Jeremy Pittman on the ground has just been able to take advantage of it.
And how about that big play on that final touchdown drive in the first half by John Carroll? KJ Davis went up and pulled it down. If you're watching on YouTube, go back to that final drive of John Carroll in the first half. Made a great play on the ball.
I mean, it's an unbelievable pass just through the wind. We saw a very similar pass in the corner of the end zone where the wind took it towards the sideline. That time, Summerhill just able to put it right on the money. Unbelievable pass by Davis, and that truly sparked that on top of same drive, fake punt in their own territory, and they get the job done there. Coach Mickey Grudy pulling out all of the tricks in this game on homecoming, on the night where they're opening up a brand new field house just to our left in the corner of the field. It is one of the biggest nights in John Carroll athletic history, and these guys are putting on show for this wild crowd.
Yeah, a lot of people in the building for a variety of reasons. As you mentioned, it's homecoming. That's when everyone comes, home to watch what the current iteration of John Carroll football looks like. And the guys that are wearing all black and the blue helmets are representing themselves well right now. You mentioned the brand new field house. You got good footage, exclusive footage of the brand new digs here at John Carroll Catholic High School. What are we prepared to look at?
So this is an all-inclusive athletic weight room, indoor training facility that all sports here at John Carroll are going to be able to utilize. Not only that, they want this to be utilized by students and student athletes, as well as potentially put a program together for faculty and staff. Full weight room, also a mat for any sort of dance, wrestling, weightlifting, competitive weightlifting here at John Carroll. Brand new bathrooms, also the brand new concession stand, which will start next year, but it's all in this one main building just off the corner of this stadium, and it's in a ideal position, location right in between the parking lot and the field for fans, and then perfect spot for athletes to just get away from the main campus, go work out, do what they need to do. It is beautiful, opened up today for the public to be able to see. I actually got a chance to speak with the president of the school, Corey Hero, to talk about what this has meant to her and the school. This is a building, an idea 4 years into the making, CCAT. It is a long time coming for these Rams. Athletic director and head coach of the Rams football team, Mickey Grudy, has been really elevating all of the sports here at John Carroll. Softball team is excellent. We obviously know the football team has potential. So there's a lot of great stuff here going athletically for the Rams. And this field house is just almost the tip of the iceberg of the athletic achievements that you're going to be able to see here at John Carroll. But let's take a look real quick at just an inside view of this field house. And as I got a chance to talk to President Corey Haro of John Carroll Catholic.
Standing here in this field house for the first time opening up to the public today, what are the emotions like?
Oh my gosh, we are so excited to open this space for our community. This morning we got to give a sneak peek to our student athletes, and the joy that they had walking in these doors was just overwhelming. To see their enthusiasm and excitement for being able to use this space as a team, it was really beautiful to see.
What do you see as the ultimate purpose and mission for this place?
Yeah, so I think it's much more than just a place for strength and conditioning. Ultimately, I hope that students learn the lessons of teamwork, perseverance, sportsmanship, having grit and doing hard things together. So that's my vision for this space for John Carroll.
Obviously, under the counsel of Coach Grudy, John Carroll football as well as athletics have soared in recent years. What does this field house say as a testament to the overall achievements of the athletic program?
I think that it just stands as an example of what we're doing currently and where we're headed. So I hope that when our community comes in today, that they see a space that will get them excited for the future of John Carroll Athletics and Ram Nation.
And opening up this place to the public today for everyone to be able to walk in, what are you kind of looking forward to most in everyone's reactions?
I cannot wait to see their faces. I think it's really a beautiful state-of-the-art facility. We put a lot of time and energy and care into it, and I just can't wait for them to see what we've been working on.
Pretty cool stuff, Cade. I mean, it's really stepping their game up here in Fort Pierce with John Carroll Catholic High School, that brand new field house. I'm going to have you step aside. Myself and Jimmy Bell will take you from here for second half action. As you can see right now on YouTube, 20-3. John Carroll on top of Benjamin. Benjamin is trying to pull off a comeback here and spoil John Carroll's homecoming night here on the ESPN South Florida app and on YouTube at ESPN Top 63. And we are back here live on the ESPN South Florida app, as well as on YouTube at ESPN Top 63. Going to get the technical difficulties sorted on out. And the ball is kicked deep. John Carroll Catholic getting the football to begin the third quarter. Returnable from the 2-yard line. Richardson across the 15, 22, and brought down short of the 25-yard line. The return that time was once again made by Donovan Richardson. And, Coach, thanks for rejoining us here for second half action. What is the path to a comeback for the Benjamin Buccaneers on both offense and defense?
Well, this offense is going to run through Pittman, so you got to stop him, get this offense off the field, cause some turnovers, wreak some havoc on this offense. Has scored so many points here in the first half, but it's going to be kind of tough because they start out, they get a score at the end of the half, did the Rams, and now they come out in the second half trying to do more of the same.
11:53 reads the third quarter clock. It's Golden Rams football. They're on top 22-3. It is quarterback Jackson Summerall has done a good job both with his arm when he needed it, but a couple of big plays with his legs as well in that first half. This time he's using his arm, firing it left side on the slant route. It's caught and then dropped by Richardson. Donovan Richardson was coming across. He was split out wide to the left, maybe a slant route on that side, and the ball just went in and out of his hands.
You remember I told you in the first half, it's easier to throw it going right in front of you if you're Summerall because the wind is not going to catch the football and push it up. But going to the sideline, you're going to always have some difficulty because that's where most of the wind is blowing on the outermost portions of this field.
2nd and 10. Hand off left side. Pittman across the 35, 40, 45, 50. He's off to the races across the 30. And broken tackle. Jeremy Pittman, end zone. Touchdown, John Carroll. A 76-yard touchdown run for the Golden Rams. Not one, not two, not three. How about 4 touchdowns for John Carroll's Jeremy Pittman? 26-3. John Carroll begins the third quarter the way they finished the second.
Yeah, the senior running back said, listen, you didn't put me on that homecoming court. You should have had me out there, right? Should have been the king, right? I'm the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. But that's what you do as an offense. You come out in the second half, you put your statement, you said, listen, we're not going to give you a chance to come back. This is the last time we'll have a homecoming. We're going to make a statement here in the second half.
Patience off that left edge, sought the gap, and then shot it as the point after is up, and it is good, cutting through the wind here in Fort Pierce. John Carroll Catholic on top, 27-3. 4 touchdowns, all by their senior running back, Jeremy Pittman. Wearing number 0 for the Golden Rams, he has been on fire. Another touchdown from Pittman, brought to you by Racetrack. Of course, Racetrack is your one-stop shop for your football Friday nights. If you like high school football, you're going to love the Boca Raton Bowl. The 2025 Boca Raton Bowl is kicking off its 12th year Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium on the campus of FAU. The game's on ESPN. 2 of the biggest and best teams from the group of 5 will battle it out for their shot at the title. For more information, it's simple, BocaRatonBowl.com. BocaRatonBowl.com. You can follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl for updates, as well as on Facebook, Facebook.com/Boca Bowl. The 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, it's Tuesday, December 23rd at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. That's the way you ring in the holidays. Kicking this one deep. No, it's not. It's a short kick once again, and fair caught at the 40-yard line. Benjamin has kind of been caught with their pants down a couple of times on these kick returns, where it's been the same kick every time from John Carroll, where it's a chip shot about 15 yards deep to a vacant no man's land of the return team for Benjamin, as head coach Belson will try to adjust on that and make sure that they are all covering spots of the field. But Bend but not break there special teams wise. Benjamin retains possession, and the Buccaneers will take over on their own 40-yard line, down by 24.
Well, it's tough because not only are you not expecting it, but again, it getting caught up in the wind, and so that poses a problem for you as well.
I formation, a fullback and a running back. It's a pitch right side across the 35 at the line of scrimmage. A tackle's made. Nice play there. Meeting the man in the hole, Paul Zykowski, that dynamic senior defensive lineman, took a big hit from the running back, Gabe Bowens, and the 5'11", 212 running back went down in a heap. A 2-yard loss, tackle for loss by Zykowski, and it is now 2nd and 12 from the 38.
I'll take that. I'll throw my body in there if I'm Zykowski and try to help my defense because, again, you're right. He took on the brunt of that, but he did get him for a 2-yard loss.
2nd and 12 from the 38. Smith with a handoff. Bowens, left side, gets met in the hole and gets dropped at the original line of scrimmage. At the 40-yard line, it's now 3rd down and 10. And the defense of John Carroll is now going to put Benjamin in an uncomfortable spot where they are on a no-doubt passing down. We'll see how quarterback Charlie Smith can respond. The senior leader for these Buccaneers will have to wait before this 3rd down and 10 snap is made, as there is a sports certified, powered by Vitacost, timeout called on the field. Clock reads 10:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. John Carroll in control of this one, 27-3. Here live on YouTube at ESPN Top 63. It is the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. Third down and 10 for the Benjamin Buccaneers offense. In the backfield alongside quarterback Smith is running back Chancellor Reddick. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Smith looking to pass. Pressure from Zykowski. Steps up in the pocket. He tucks it and runs around. Fires it across the middle. Caught for an HSS first down. Across midfield, across the 45, and brought down at the 42-yard line. Big catch, big conversion that time made by Caden Faneuil to move the chains for that HSS first down.
Yeah,
first
big,
and 10 from the 42.
Sorry about that, partner. Big hit by Josh Smith on that. Coming up from his defensive back spot, laid the wood. Ball still caught by the receiver, but again, this offense needs more of that here in the second half in order to stage a comeback.
Under 10 to play in the third quarter. 24-point lead for John Carroll. 27-3 is the score. And there is another timeout called. A timeout called brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. It's a Golden Rams timeout. First and 10 for the Benjamin Buccaneers. And while we have a break in the action, shout out to Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers, proud to be the presenting sponsor of High School Game Day on ESPN 106.3. If you've been in a car accident, call now for a free consultation. The sooner you call, the sooner the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather can start putting their extensive experiences and resources to work for you. You do not pay anything unless they make a recovery for you. Here's the phone number you can call right now, 500-HELP. That is 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices are conveniently located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie, not far away from either of the 2 schools that are represented here tonight. 9:56 to play in this third quarter. Again, 27-3, the lead for John Carroll. They're on defense. Benjamin is going to look to try to pull off a big comeback, similar to the comeback that they staged against Jupiter Christian late August. In the shotgun, you've got Smith, play action pass. Charlie Smith across the middle. Got a man. It's incomplete. A little bit too tall for his freshman tight end, Jackson Link. It is now 2nd and 10 from the 42 in plus territory.
Smith throws a good ball, but it comes out a little funny because it's kind of sidearm, right? So it's kind of hard to locate if you're a receiver. It's not like it's coming over the top and you can see it coming out. And all of a sudden, it appears in your screen and you got to be able to locate the football. It's kind of tough, especially when defenders are in your face.
Second down with 9:49 to play in this third quarter. Smith has his tailback Reddick directly behind him. Receiver to the left is Caden Faneuil. Remember, Faneuil made that conversion earlier on in this drive. Claps his hands, pitching it out to Reddick. Right side, across the line of scrimmage, fighting forward, breaking tacklers, showing a lot of heart that time is running back Reddick for a gain of 8 on the pitch to the right side. It is now third down and 2.
You know, this game has gotten so out of control in terms of what Benjamin wanted to do offensively. You remember early on, Reddick was the one who kept this offense on the field, took him down, actually scored a touchdown, but it was called back due to a hold. You got to see more of him here in the second half.
Yeah, Chancellor Reddick really has been the source of the success so far in this game for the Benjamin Buccaneers. Third down and 3 officially. Ball's to the 45. Got to get to the 42 to move the chains. It's a handoff. Reddick across the 35. 30. 25. He gets the HSS first down, but there is a flag at the very end on one of the blocks that was laid down to spring Reddick free. This is a hold that was well past the line of scrimmage. It's a matter of where exactly. And Coach, are you indicating against John Carroll?
No, it's going to be against Benjamin. They're going to be a first down, but they'll back it up on the 10-yard hold. But that's what I'm talking about. You got to get Reddick involved because he's such a, he can change the pace of this game. All of a sudden, he gets a first down there, and now you can throw the football if you get these defenders coming up trying to tackle him on the run.
So they will move the football to the 35-yard line. And it will replay that third down. 3rd and 3 from there at the 35-yard line. It's not a back-breaking hold, but a hold that takes away an HSS first down. Trips right, lone receiver left is Faneuil. Reddick in the backfield alongside Charlie Smith. Smith's going to look to pass. Blitz, right side, both sides, and 2 different Golden Rams meet at the quarterback for a sack. Zykowski was there. I think the one man that maybe got a hair quicker to him was Joshua Dean. Zykowski, the senior, Dean, the sophomore, make a quarterback sandwich, and it's now 4th and long.
Looking for Reddick on the swing route coming out of the backfield. He's wide open. Not enough time for Charlie Smith to survey the field. Again, as soon as he gets to the top of his drop, here comes defenders, and they're all over him before he can release the football.
So 4th down and 13. That holding call looms large because took away the first down. Low snap, it skips to the kicker, and he will have to rush it himself. A no good 4th down conversion on a low 4-hopper to the punter. Trying to make something out of nothing was Nick Skillen, and he just made nothing out of nothing. It's a turnover on downs. John Carroll capitalizes. Now has great field position as the wheels begin to fall off the Buccaneer boat. Not that there are wheels on boats, but there are boats when you talk about Buccaneers, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Pardon the metaphor. It's 8:06 to play in the third quarter. John Carroll with the football back, leading 27-3. They have the football in plus territory at the 45. 2 receivers right, lone receiver left. Pistol formation as Jackson Summerall, the senior quarterback, claps his hands, takes a snap. They give it to Pittman. Left side across the 40 and brought down for a chunk gain on 1st and 10. But there is a flag in the offensive backfield that might affect the original gain of 7. And it will be a hold going against John Carroll to wipe away that 7-yard gain.
As much as they run the football, you think you see more holding calls against John Carroll, but you don't. They do a good job of staying clean up front. Guys get their hands inside, and they just push the defender out of the way. They've done a really good job so far staying away from those holding calls.
So move the football to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 20. Line to gain is the 35 all the way past midfield. Jackson Summerall and the Pistols got 2 receivers to the right, lone receiver left. They fake the handoff to Pittman. Pressure in the face of the quarterback Summerall and gets it off. Caught at the 44 and getting forward, getting close to the midfield for a gain to the 49, short of midfield. 2nd down and 16, a gain of 4.
Good job by Joshua Dean of possessing the football. Tried to make a guy move on that. Make a great move on that, but couldn't get the defender to go for the fake. But I like that because what they did, they put the ball in the belly of the running back, come out and they throw it on the outside just to get a little play action going.
John Carroll with the ball on the right hash mark on 2nd down and 16. Ball at the 49, line to gain is the 35 past midfield. 3 receivers left side. Lone receiver to the right. They fake it left. They throw it right side instead on a wide receiver screen. Caught by KJ across the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Still in bounds, then eventually ushered out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Big catch and an HSS 1st down by KJ Davis. From the 49, working the football all the way into the red zone to the 18.
Well, you can run the football with Pittman, so you say, listen, let me feed this big receiver outside. You give him a little slip screen, you fake it, again, get him up the middle of the field, and he does the rest from there.
33-yard catch and conversion. It's KJ Davis gets the Golden Rams into the red zone. Summerall on the shotgun. Directly behind him is Pittman. They throw it to Davis again. To 14. He's dragging a tackler forward and eventually goes out of bounds right around the 10.
And that's just understanding how to call offensive plays. Again, you got your running back over his 150 mark for tonight. Now you get your big receiver involved. Keep him happy. You got to be able to keep him happy on the outside. He's doing a great job of blocking, but he want to catch some balls as well.
2nd down and medium. Good atmosphere at homecoming night at John Carroll High School. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right on 2nd down and 3. As Summerall drops back, pressure, fires to the end zone. It's incomplete. Led his receiver, Felix Jackson, just a little bit too much as Jackson was trying to catch that football on the back corner of the end zone on a flag route. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball spotted at around the 12, 11-yard line. Line to gain is the 18.
I can tell you, partner, on any other given Sunday, any other night, that ball would have been completed. But again, got caught up in the wind, just went a little further, kind of pulled it to the sideline away from the receiver. But most of the time, 90% of the time, Jackson Somerville is going to complete that pass.
Under 6 to play in the third quarter. Motion over the tight end and the receiver, and now there is a whistle blown as head coach Mickey Grudy wants to talk things over with his offense as he did not like how that play was shaking up. It is a timeout brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. 5:58 to play here in the third quarter. It's John Carroll, 27, Benjamin 3. Live on YouTube at ESPN Top 63, on Twitter at ESPN Top 63, on Facebook at ESPN West Palm, and on the brand new ESPN South Florida app.
Let's hear it for some more John Carroll High School athletic sponsors. Intake Creek, TSC Scudder, Airbowl and Allstate, Godfrey Electric, Set 'em Up Volleyball, Leak Busters, Mervis's Cafe, Accurate Trucking Equipment, Lenny Cook Utilities, Ashton Utilities, Healthy Harvest Farm Zinc, Breeze Cakes, and Baking Supplies, Derby Global Advisor, Coastal Home Technologies, Elite Landscapes, All Contracting.
Back here at the home of the Golden Rams, John Carroll Catholic High School in Fort Pierce in the Treasure Coast. Tight end on the left side, 3rd down and 3.5. Handoff, Summerall. Hand to the Pittman. Does he have 5? Stiff arm, end zone, touchdown, John Carroll. The 5th touchdown of the night for Jeremy Pittman. Rinse, repeat.
5 for Jeremy Pittman.
And John Carroll extends their lead to 33-3 before the point after is attempted. Again, touchdown number 5 for Jeremy Pittman as he extends this Golden Rams lead. As you know, Benjamin really, in the first 6 minutes of the game, we kind of thought we were going to have more of a fight.
Yeah.
It looked like a very fair matchup. The defense of Benjamin came out of the gates red hot and keyed in on the run game and was proving to be a worthy opponent of John Carroll. And then something flipped in the second half of the first quarter and throughout the rest of the game where John Carroll's been able to run at will.
Yeah, Jeremy Pittman, that's what flipped. Again, you come into this contest, if you're Jason Belser, the head coach of Benjamin, you say, listen, we got to stop this guy. Well, that's all sounding great on film, but you've got to be able to do it on the field. And he's been able to prove, why he's one of the top running backs in all of South Florida. I watched just before that play, Mickey Grudy comes out. He's animated. He calls a timeout. He's angry. He's up by 24, but he's angry at his guys because they're not doing the assignment just right. That's the mark of a great coach. Coaching, even when it's a blowout, you're forcing your guys to do everything within the system and try to do the best they can all night long.
34-3 the score after that latest racetrack touchdown by Pittman. He's done it from goal-to-go situations. He's had home run runs from 76 yards out. Jeremy Pittman has found the end zone and has had a nose for pay dirt time and time again here on his final homecoming game of his high school career. And that's got to feel just a little bit more special. I know the focus going into the game, you got the homecoming court, you've got the fancy dresses, the fancy suits. But when those stands are packed for a special event, it's got to add a little bit of percentage of satisfaction to be a running back to really put your offense on your back in a moment like this.
Yeah, no doubt. You put your name in the record book and you say, listen, this is our night. We're going to take advantage of what they're doing defensively. If they don't come up and make the tackles, we're going to make them pay all night long.
Carroll kicks it deep for the first time this evening, and they have it fair caught at the 25-yard line. Securing it was Markel Etienne. So now the Benjamin Buccaneers will try to build on the end of this game as they take on St. Andrews a week from yesterday in Boca Raton. Pardon me, it will be at home. Benjamin will return home and take on St. Andrews from Boca Raton, a very tough opponent in back-to-back weeks for Benjamin. As we've seen St. Andrews this season, they've added throughout the years. And they've built a really good team down there. I formation for Charlie Smith and the Buccaneers offense. 5:45 to play in this third quarter. Smith takes snap, and it's a handoff to the fullback up the middle, trucking forward to the 33-yard line. A punishing carry from Ryan Brown. Plays linebacker, and he plays fullback. That time, toting the football, he delivered the boom. It'll be second down and short. First time we've really seen that type of carry. They fake the pitch to the right and set an inside handoff to the fullback. 3 running backs set this time. 1 directly behind quarterback Smith and 2 directly to the sides. It goes to Reddick. Reddick up the middle across the 40-yard line. HSS first down, takes a big hit, but gets the gain needed to move the chains to the 43. HSS first down. Benjamin with some forward momentum with the clock rolling under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
You know, Reddick kind of puts you in the mind of Pittman, a smaller running back, you know, very hard to see coming out of the backfield. But he has a blaze of speed when he gets to the next level of his defense. Haven't been able to go to the end zone. He did earlier. Was called back on penalty, but he's been able to break through since then.
Well, at the 43, Benjamin has a receiver to the right, receiver to the left. High snap, corralled by Smith. Handoff left side, and Reddick gets swallowed up for a gain of 1 yard. It is now 2nd and 9.
It's a young Benjamin team. They got a lot of guys that transfer out after Eric Kresser left, and you know, they put a big, problem for this program in terms of getting guys with continuity. They're trying to get it together. They got time to build up.
Yeah, certainly. Rome wasn't built in a day,
right.
And a football program is not reset and rebuilt in one season. As there's no, it's no secret, as you mentioned, how many transfers left Benjamin, and many of which went to Cardinal Newman. As you're seeing Phoenix Donia, Adam Balagoon, Ali really lighted up for those Cardinal Newman Crusaders, who we saw last week win the HSS Game of the Week, beat the defending state champion West Boca Bulls on homecoming nights. So this Benjamin program can burgeon stars. It just has the process step back several steps until they get back to that spot the head coach, former head coach Eric Kresser brought them to.
Yeah, it takes guys to make plays, and again, they'll build it in time, but it just takes a little time. And these guys have to be committed to the program. A lot of guys jump ship. Like you mentioned, went on to Cardinal Newman. They're having a great season this year, trying to get primed and ready for the playoffs. But Benjamin has time, and they will build.
In that wing T formation, kind of. As Smith hands it off up the middle from the shotgun, it's Reddick on the carry, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 9 on ESPN 106.3, ESPN West Palm on Facebook, and there's an injured Benjamin Buccaneer down, and we will take a timeout. Brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. An injury timeout here on ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith Ball Bias and Prather. 4:05 to play in the third quarter. 34-3. John Carroll taking it to Benjamin here at John Carroll Catholic High School.
Chancellor Reddick, injured Buccaneer. On his feet.
I'm the one that put in the score for John Carroll's game last week. But I mean, I did it the next morning. I went to look it up. I was like, oh, I know the score. Anyone can, yeah, but they verify it. Well, actually, Streeter got beat 7-0 last week. It was 63-0 at halftime.
Back here on ESPN West Palm High School game day, the HSS game of the week has Benjamin trailing to John Carroll. With 4:05 to play in the third quarter, it's 34-3, John Carroll on top. Smith fakes the pitch instead of inside handoff to Brown across the 40. Trucking forward, gets close to the line to gain. Gabe Bowens on the carry, not Ryan Brown. A couple of big backs back there that are decidedly a different type of ball carrier than we see from the now injured Chancellor Reddick.
They couldn't put any pressure on that right foot. They carried him off the field, went off with some help to Reddick, and he's been a spark for this offense all night long, and you've got to find some other guys that can make plays.
1st and 10, they give the HSS first down to the Buccaneers. Another inside carry, and this time stuffed in the middle was Gabe Bowens, and he gets no gain on 1st and 10. 2nd and 10, across midfield at the 47-yard line.
The Rams have caught up to that trap play. Again, you fake it outside to the running back on the pitch, and you give it to the fullback inside, trapping from the right to the left, and they caught up to that, and they slowed it on that play.
While there is a timeout on the field for an injured John Carroll Golden Ram, might as well give you an update from scores that are around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast and out in the muck. How about this game? I had this game circled on the calendar on Max Preps. Kings Academy versus Glades Central. A couple of those teams that are right on the bubble of the ESPN West Palm top 10. Of course, Glades Central in the ESPN West Palm top 10, presented by Safebound Moving and Storage. Glades Central on top of Kings Academy, 22-19. That has been a back and forth game. Next week, we have the Muck Bowl. It's Glades Central Pahokee, where you, Coach, will be on the call alongside Mike Rizzo for that game out at Pahokee High School. The Muck Bowls have been classics. Last year's went to overtime. Glades Central broke that streak on the rebuild under head coach Almar Hugabook, and Glades Central looks strong once again in 2025, as does Pahokee. So you're in for a treat next week.
Yeah, should be a great one. Voted number 1 by Max Sports Prep as the number 1 high school rivalry game in the state of Florida. So, it didn't surprise me because that's a rivalry that goes back to the 1960s. I think they've only missed 1 game in all of that time. So it's been back and forth. Both teams are really good this year. I'm excited to see that one next week.
Yeah, and for both schools, like you talk about homecoming is when everyone comes back to town. They have 2 homecomings. Whenever they host that game, everyone comes to town to watch that game as that pass goes right side incomplete on 2nd and long, and Smith was unable to connect with his running back out of the backfield, Gabe Bowens. Again, 3rd and long for the Benjamin offense. Yeah, the Muck Bowl will be on ESPN 106.3, a special early kick, 5 o'clock kickoff out at Pahokee High School. It'll be on ESPN 106.3, the FM dial. This game is not currently on the FM dial. It'll be on the ESPN South Florida app, on X, on Facebook. I know there's a big Facebook following of the Muck schools. It will be on Facebook, and, of course, it'll be on YouTube. ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Empty set. Smith fakes the wide receiver screen. He tucks it and runs it across the 45-yard line. Trucking forward across the 40 and gets stopped a couple yards short of the line to gain. A nice gain by Charlie Smith. A big hit upending him. 1 yard short, maybe 2 yards short of the line to gain. And there's no two ways about it. Benjamin's got to go for it here in plus territory on 4th and 2. Line to gain is the 36. They're at the 38.
See, Cat, let me tell you how important the Muck Bowl is, right? You can win a state championship, but if you lose the Muck Bowl, you're in trouble. It sounds crazy because every coach comes into the season wants to win a state championship, but the Muck Bowl is equally or more important to the Glades fans than a state championship.
4th and 2 for Benjamin here. Hard count, and there is movement by the Benjamin Buccaneers. The linebacker corps took 4 steps forward, and it doesn't mean anything unless they cross the line of scrimmage. And the Benjamin Buccaneer receiver, Jordan Douglas, flinched really hard. That does matter as he was set, moved forward, and moves him back 5 yards. And that brings up the punt team onto the field for Benjamin as they kind of wave the white flag on this drive and will punt it away from plus territory. Nick Skillen, the junior punter, will kick it from his own 42. 2:05 to play in the third quarter. John Carroll well in control of this one, 34-3. if you are listening on it's a fake punt, but the whistles blow before the play is made. And a defensive offside is going to be called against John Carroll as they point in the Golden Rams direction. So those 5 yards that were just given to the defense of John Carroll, backing up Benjamin, are given right back to the offense of Benjamin. And the punt team jogs off. The offense jogs on. Charlie Smith will try to get a 4th and 2 conversion here. Ball at the 38. Need to get the 36 to move the chains and keep the offensive drive alive.
Partner, did you see me restless in my seat? I'm wondering, why are you kicking the ball here on 4th down by 31 points? But they had the fake call. Pretty good call. I think it would have worked. The defense hadn't lined up offside.
Yeah, they had body Gabe Bowens toting the football. He's in the backfield right now at running back. Smith, quarterback sneak up the middle. Charlie Smith's a big body to bring down, and they are unable to bring him down until he gets to the 35-yard line for an HSS first down to move the chains. Charlie Smith stands at 6'2", 190, as he just fell forward for 3 yards when he only needed 2.
Good push by this offensive line, knowing what they needed to get on that play and stay on the field and try to cut this thing and get a score here before the end of the 3rd quarter and do the best you can to keep fighting.
1st and 10 from the 35. Charlie Smith, a Denison University commit, has a receiver to the left, receiver to the right. Handoff, right side, Bowens fighting forward. He gets past the line of scrimmage, gains a couple. 2nd and 7 coming up.
You put Bowens back in the backfield. You hope that he pounds this defensive line. Again, it's late in the game, and running the ball is really not a good option for you here, but they've got to keep the defense honest. Smith has to make a couple of chunk throws down the field to try to get in the end zone.
Yeah, you pound that run to try to set up a pop aerial assault play. And Bowens is that number 1 option at the back right now with Reddick injured. Handoff, Bowens up the middle. Big hole across the 25-yard line, still on his feet. Dragging Golden Rams at his feet, gets past the 20 into the red zone. Move the chains for an HSS first down. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. As there are injured John Carroll Catholic players down right now, at least one of them. And that will trigger a sports-certified, powered by Vitacost timeout. With 1:41 to play in the 3rd quarter, it's 34-3. John Carroll in command of this one, but Benjamin is not going to bed yet as they're mounting an offensive drive to try to score their first touchdown of the night. We will be right back here live on YouTube at ESPN Top 63 and on the ESPN South Florida app.
Devin Lewis injured during the play. First down, Bucs.
First and 10, Benjamin on offense, trailing by 31. The clock is rolling under 10 seconds, and one snap to be made before the end of the 3rd quarter. Bowens in the carry, spin move, bouncing off tacklers. He's just lowering his center of gravity, making things very difficult for the John Carroll defense to bring him down. They eventually do after no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. At the end of 3, it is 34-3. The John Carroll Golden Rams trying to cap off a dominant effort here on homecoming nights. On the night they debut their brand new field house, everything's coming up Golden Rams here on the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. Benjamin football inside to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 20 in the red zone are the Buccaneers on offense, trailing 34-3. John Carroll trying to preserve no touchdowns in this game for the Buccaneers. Pitch outside, cutting upfield across the line of scrimmage, right around the 15-yard line as the tackle is made. It is going to be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding because this is only the second time tonight that they've been inside the red zone. So most of their plays have come on the other end of the field. It's kind of tough offensively to keep any continuity if you're on the sideline for most of the night.
Next week, going on the road in Boca Raton will be John Carroll taking on St. John Paul II Academy. I formation, 2 big bruising backs in the backfield of Benjamin. It's a handoff up the middle. Brown carrying it and gets the HSS 1st down. Inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal, Benjamin. They've had goal to go once before in this game, and they had a touchdown scored by Reddick that was called back.
Yeah, and he's now on the sideline. I just looked at him. He's got his shoe off, and I think his night is over. They've taken his helmet as well, so that's an option for you that you don't have. You got to use these 2 big backs down here in the red zone.
Ryan Brown is the fullback, and the running back is Gabe Bowens. They go to Brown up the middle like they did last play. This time, he does not find the same success and is stopped for a loss. Maybe no gain. It'll be 2nd and goal inside the 10.
You know, that play would work well if you had Reddick in the backfield because he has the threat of getting outside. But now with the big backs, you know, you're not going to toss it out there to them, or they're not going to get around the corner. This defense is a little too fast from sideline to sideline.
Yeah, you have 2 very similar running backs in Brown and Bowens, whereas, of course, Reddick can beat you with his speed, especially if you're trying to cheat outside and meet him around the edge. Different story here. Now there's a throw. Smith on play action. Pumps, fires, end zone. It's caught at the goal line. Is he in? He is. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Nice throw made by Charlie Smith. He found Collier Arwood right at the corner of the end zone, just past the goal line. He had 2 knees on the ground when he caught the football. Smith tucked that in a tight window while he was rolling to his right, and the Buccaneers find the end zone for the first time tonight. It's a touchdown brought to you by Racetrack to cut the deficit to 34-9 before the point after was attempted.
You know, on that play, Charlie Smith, as he got outside, it looked like he was saying, feet don't fail me now. He was trying to get away from the defenders, finally got around the corner, kind of slung it out their sidearm, made a great throw there for his offense.
Here is the point after by Ayers. It's kicked up. He made a field goal earlier on, and his extra point is good. 34-10 the score now with 10:02 to play in the 4th quarter. Stranger things have happened. Benjamin has played in a couple of very close games this season. Just took a 6-point loss to Gulliver Prep at home, and that team came up from Miami. They had a narrow 3-point win over Jupiter Christian to start their season, and that 1-point loss to Kings Academy just last week. So we'll see if Benjamin can make things even more interesting here. 10 minutes to play in this 4th quarter, 34-10 the score. It's a 3-possession ball game. You'll need stops. You'll probably need an onside kick, if not 2, depending on how quickly you can get those stops. We will see whether or not head coach Belser wants to pull some tricks special teams wise. We have seen John Carroll do that with those modified onside kicks, kicked 15 yards deep. Maybe Benjamin has a trick up their sleeves, as it will be the same guy who kicked the extra point through, Alexander Calvo Ayers, the junior kicker, to kick this one high in the air. Opportunity here as the ball is caught at the 43. That ball got hung up in the air with the wind, where it was fair caught. Very smart and astutely made by John Carroll, where if you don't fair catch, that ball could actually be caught on the fly by Benjamin, and all of a sudden you have an extra possession there. But once you fair catch it, you have the rights to that football, and no one can interfere with that.
You do, and that's good coaching, because knowing where you are on the field, what you have to do in that situation, because once the ball travels 10 yards, it's a live football. So just knowing there, you put your hand up to protect yourself. Hopefully they don't hit you. If they do, you get 15 yards plus the football.
So John Carroll takes over on their own 44-yard line. Jackson Summerall, the senior quarterback, has been calm, cool, and collected. He's in the shotgun with 2 receivers left. 2 receivers split out wide to the right side. That's a short part of the field. The ball's on the right hash. Pittman in the backfield. He's had 5 touchdowns today. They throw it deep on the near sideline on a go route, and it's incomplete. Trying to link up with Anthony Calistino, but the sophomore receiver just quite couldn't track down that football as he was overthrown by about 2 yards. There is a flag down. Didn't quite see what the infraction is being discussed to possibly be, as 3 officials are meeting at midfield to discuss whether or not there should be a penalty flag thrown. As it stands, it's 2nd down and 10 from the 44. It's short of midfield.
Kind of surprised with a new quarterback and you come out throwing on the first play. Yeah. So, again, it's a little wrinkle from this offense you didn't expect.
Good catch, Coach. You know, I didn't expect that either because I couldn't tell if there was a new quarterback on the field with these black numbers outlined by the yellow and black uniforms. It is Carter Cullen on the field, the sophomore QB, airing it all out down the near sideline to also new into the game, Anthony Calistino. And it was a penalty called against John Carroll that will back them up 10 yards behind the sticks at the very least. And they will go all the way to the 30, the 29-yard line, an illegal block.
Yeah, chop block.
So 15-yard penalty there. 9:50 to play in this 4th quarter.
And I'm glad they made that call because that's a dangerous block. That's where a guy is engaged up top and he gets hit by another guy down low. So you have to protect the defender.
And, you know, Coach, I don't want to be alarming here for any Golden Rams that are tuning in, but it's only a 3-possession game, and you've got a bunch of new players in the game for John Carroll, and their backs are against the wall in terms of this offensive possession. It's 2nd and 25. A carry, left side, once again, second level, 40, 45. There goes Jeremy Pittman. 25-20, end zone, touchdown, John Carroll. From 71 yards out. If you had any doubt on whether or not the momentum was changing in this game, I guess Jeremy Pittman completing the 6-pack will extinguish all doubt. It's a racetrack touchdown with 9:37 to play in this 4th quarter. 40-10. John Carroll gives that stamp of approval.
Yeah, he's something special. Wow. And you know that's a 6-pack of Coke or Pepsi or Sprite. Of course. Yeah. Wow, what a great running back. And we witnessed history to here tonight. I mean, just his ability to run away from any defense, but especially this defense has been tremendous.
Yeah, Pittman came into the game with 13 touchdowns. He now has 19 on the season. An exhilarating performance from the senior running back on homecoming night. As Jeremy Pittman in the game from a new quarterback, different type of handoff from Carter Cullen, but the same type of explosiveness from that Golden Ram running back. The point after was up and good. It's 41-10, a 31-point lead for the John Carroll Golden Rams as that rushing attack is flat out unrelenting. They average 165 yards on the ground per game, and that is going up.
Yeah, he's over 250 yards tonight. Again, just 270-yard runs. That's at 140 plus. So there you go right there. And, you know, I'm not the best at math, but I'm telling you, he's well over 250 yards tonight. And as you mentioned, 6 touchdowns.
And as a team, definitely well over 200 yards because Summerall's gotten free a couple of times in the second level, adding at least 50 yards with his legs. It has been a ground game assault from the Golden Rams offense, as this one's kicked deep for the first time tonight, as now it's an opportunity to return from Camden Giles across the 15, 20, 25, gets a good block, 35, 40 at the 45-yard line. Pardon me, at the 40-yard line, he goes out of bounds. And the Buccaneers take over with 9:25 to play in the fourth quarter, as the win-loss might have been decided with that 71-yard touchdown run from Jeremy Pittman, the senior back. But the Buccaneers can still put together positive drives in a row. They scored a touchdown their last time out on the back of a lot of the rushing attack, and then a nice completion into the end zone for a 6 from Charlie Smith. You are playing for pride, and you're playing to progress into your college years, into next season for a lot of the young players in the field right now for Benjamin. And before the 1st and 10 play is run by Benjamin, a timeout is called by the Golden Rams sideline, as head coach Mickey Grudy wants to have a conversation with his defense before this 1st and 10 from the 40 of the Buccaneers. We'll take a break here, as well as a sports certified, powered by Vitacost timeout is called on ESPN Top 63's YouTube channel and streaming live on the ESPN South Florida app.
One more away game remaining. We'll close out the regular season next Friday at 7 p.m. at St. John Paul II High School in Boca Raton.
Benjamin football on their own 40-yard line. Bunch of fresh faces on the defense of John Carroll on the field currently. Smith in, play action pass, fires it down the left side, incomplete. Trying to link up, no pun intended, with his tight end, Jackson Link, but they just have not been on the right page throughout the evening.
Yeah, a little bit behind him. You got to get it out in front, especially with a tight end. His catch radius is not like a wide receiver. You got to put it right on him, and make sure he's running away from the football instead of throwing it behind him.
9:18 remaining in this game. Buccaneers ball on their own 40, 2nd and 10. Line of gain is midfield. When this game goes final, the Buccaneers will fall to 3-6 on the season. Throw pass 6 yards down the field, caught for a gain and ripped out of bounds just short of the line to gain for a 9-yard completion. Tackle was made down that sideline by Devin Lewis, the junior DB. 3rd down and 2 from the 48-yard line. Benjamin trying to keep the drive alive, probably playing 4-down football here. The running back in the game for Benjamin is Gabe Bowens. He's directly to the left of quarterback Charlie Smith. Spread formation, 2 receivers on either side. Bowens the carry up the middle, bashes forward, gets the 3 yards he needed to move the chains for an HSS 1st down. 1st and 10, Benjamin. Stick around after the final whistle, because we will give you the Duffy's MVP of the game, as if it's not clear who that's going to be. You also have the look ahead, brought to you by the Boca Bowl. 1st and 10 from the 49, into plus territory goes the Benjamin Buccaneers.
My mom would say, make good decisions.
8:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Charlie Smith has 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right in the spread formation, looking to air this one out. Fires a deep ball across the middle, got a guy, but it's incomplete. Kind of threw it behind him with the wind, not helping that whatsoever, as Camden Giles was trying to make a catch over his shoulder, was unable to haul it in. It's now 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Giles bends all the way back. He's trying, but again, that wind pushes it toward the sideline. That's why you almost got to run your route closer to the sideline, especially in these conditions, because of the wind pushing it toward the sideline. So, hopefully the quarterback will throw it closer inside toward the numbers, and then you can bend it back out.
It's easier to run towards the middle of the field than back to the sideline on a high ball. This one's thrown deep. Looking for Giles. I feel like we just had instant replay, because the same exact thing just happened. Yep. The same play, the same formation, the same target, the same quarterback, and the same underthrow in behind Giles.
Yeah.
It's incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10.
It was there, but again, the wind caught it and it died at the last moment. It almost like it dropped out of the air. And if you're not here witnessing it, you can't see it, but You can see it online, but the bottom line is the football is dying because of this win.
At the 49-yard line, line to gain is the 39. Pass midfield into plus territory, just barely, are the Benjamin Buccaneers. Two receivers right. Fullback and a running back of the game. They pitch it, and it's a reverse. Out the left side, a 45. Explosive play into the second level and brought down inside the 30-yard line. How about that reverse? Collier Arwood, the sophomore, makes the play on the reverse to move the chains to get an HSS first down into plus territory. 1st and 10, Benjamin.
You know, usually there's younger guys in the game. They're less disciplined than the seniors and the regular starters. So you pull that off. Great play call. But again, you just try to keep this offense on the field, try to get at least one more score here.
Ball at the 28. Benjamin with the ball. 7:20 to play in the fourth quarter. Two-back set. In the shotgun is quarterback Smith. Two receivers, one to the right, one to the left. And going to be a pitch option, left side, fighting forward. A big hit delivered to running back Nick Skillen. Skillen drops down for a modest gain on 1st and 10. Make it a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up.
There's a guy again, Devin Lewis, again, a defensive back that's been making plays. He's coming off the field now. He's done his work for the night, but just made a lot of good plays defending the football and coming up making tackles.
You look up and down this roster of Benjamin, a lot of younger guys. I know the quarterback's a senior, and he'll be playing football at the next level in 2026. But outside of Charlie Smith, a lot of younger fellas. Caden Faneuil, he's a senior. But outside of those two guys, many younger guys will be here next year. Handoff up the middle to the 20-yard line. 3rd down and short coming up for Benjamin as they continue to work the ball deeper into John Carroll territory. 3rd and short coming up.
Well, you almost have to be a salesman, if you will, as a high school head coach now, because in this day and age of free agency where guys are jumping ship as soon as someone else is winning, it's tough to keep a program together. So Coach Belzer in the offseason, he's going to have to do a really good job of getting new guys in, but keeping his guys intact so they can kind of build something here at Benjamin.
3rd and 2. Need to get to the 18-yard line. Probably have 2 plays to do it. Smith drops back to pass on 3rd and 2. Fires it to the right side. Flats caught at the 25, 20-yard line. HSS first down. Brown on his feet still. Dragging forward and has a goal-to-go situation. Tackled at the 2-yard line. A nice play that time by Gabe Bowens on the catch out of the backfield and just followed some blockers here and there, broken tackles here and there, and a solid gain of 18 yards on 3rd and 2 to set up 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Injured player on the field. That'll coincide with a sports certified, powered by Vitacost timeout called on the field. It's the HSS game of the week, and with 5:43 to play in the game, it's 41-10. John Carroll in command. Benjamin with the football when we come back. Back here on ESPN Top 63 on YouTube, we're at the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather. Of course, you need to follow at ESPN Top 63 on X. That is the only place you're going to get every single complete and accurate score across high school football from Palm Beach County to the Treasure Coast. You have Atlantic. How about this final score? The Atlantic Eagles, 48-18 over Galley High School. The Atlantic Eagles are for real in 2025. Benjamin with the football, trying to punch in their second touchdown of the night. It's a handoff. Bowens up the middle, and he is in for 6. It's a racetrack touchdown. 2 yards out. Gabe Bowens punches one on in to make it 41-16. 5:26 to play in this fourth quarter. Benjamin not giving up. And, Coach, Atlantic's one of those teams We saw them in week 0 against Palm Beach Central, if I recall correctly.
Yes, sir.
And that they played them to overtime. It was a fun one. We always know Palm Beach Central has all the talent in the world, if you would. And Atlantic won that football game. It's week 0, so it's all coming back to me now. The point after snap held, kick is up, and it is good. 41-17 the score with 5:25 to play in the fourth quarter. John Carroll will hold on to win this one and improve to 7-2 on the season. What I was getting at is with Atlantic, new quarterback, their number 1 receiver, of course, Teddy Hoffman, graduated. You kind of have a different look Eagles, and they've been playing teams all from outside the area, outside of that week 0 game. So they're in the top 5 of the ESPN West Palm Top 10 poll presented by Safebound Moving and Storage. But we're kind of unsure on Atlantic and how they've retained the talent, and it looks like they are for real once again in 2025. This was an Atlantic team that took St. Thomas Aquinas to overtime last year, and St. Thomas Aquinas did win that game, but Atlantic was comparable, if not the better team on that field, losing that game at home. So Palm Beach County, the Treasure Coast, realistically has 3 championship contenders, 4 if you include West Boca in 2025. Cardinal Newman, West Boca, Atlantic, and Vero Beach all have a realistic chance to win a state championship in 2025. And the way John Carroll's playing tonight, they would like a word in that as well. Spin move, Richardson at the 30, 35, 40, sidestep at the 45-yard line. He gets ushered out of bounds short of that marker. Good field position for Donovan Richardson and the Golden Rams of John Carroll Catholic. The clock reads 5:17 to play in the fourth quarter. 41-17, John Carroll with the lead and the football.
Yeah, Atlantic, as you mentioned, they've played a lot of teams from outside the area, and that's important because I think you can be a county champ, as a lot of teams like to do, but you got to get outside the area, be battle-tested, and see what you really are, and that tells a lot. Going on the road to some of the tougher places in the state to play, and then bringing some of those teams to your field as well. So I like what the Eagles have done this year. We'll see how far they can go.
Speaking of championship contenders, Vero Beach, a tough season gets worse for Treasure Coast as 49-0 is the final score in that one. The Fighting Indians get the win as a tackle made in the backfield. It's scooped up by Benjamin. 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone touchdown. Caden Faniel scoops up the loose ball on the jet sweep. Gone bad for John Carroll, and the Buccaneers get a defensive score as they punch one in for 6 to make the score 41-23. Faniel really showed good hand-eye coordination on that ball that's bouncing in the offensive backfield. How many times have we seen a defender have their eyes look at the end zone and see they have a chance to score, but they don't secure the football on the scoop and score to where the offense actually recovers it? Faniel did a beautiful job of securing the ball first, looking up, and seeing pay dirt punch it in for 6.
We tell our guys that possession is 9/10 of the law. So what you're going to do is you're going to scrape your knuckles on the ground as you scoop the football up. Put your pinky fingers together, scoop the ball up, look it into your hands, and then go to the end zone just as he did on that play.
So here's a snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good for Benjamin. 41-24 the score. Is quickly gotten down to a 17-point ball game. 41-24. I'm not great at math, but I think that got that one correct. 17-point game with 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Never say never as we look to see Benjamin probably attempt an onside kick here. And with the way the wind is whipping, crazier things have happened when you're talking about South Florida high school football as Benjamin tries to pull off the unthinkable, the improbable, in many ways, the perceivably impossible. Alexander Calvo-Ayers, the junior kicker, puts the football on the tee, on the block at the 40-yard line. Benjamin down by 17, 5 minutes to go in this ball game. They just punched in a racetrack touchdown, scoop and score by Faneuil. And here is the onside kick. Left side takes a high hop, and it's secured by the Golden Rams. Very disciplined and safe. Touched it down at the 44-yard line. Scooping that football up and going down was the homecoming king, I believe. Xander Lemons, I think, got that football on the onside kick recovery by the return team. It'll be 1st and 10 for John Carroll. On their own 44. 4:57 to play in this game. Quarterback Carter Cullen, the sophomore, in shotgun. 2 receivers left. Lone receiver right. After the defensive touchdown, you might get more conservative on offense if you are John Carroll. It is a handoff, right side, and brought down immediately for a 1-yard loss is the ball carrier. 2nd down and 11.
You just got to hold on to the football through John Carroll. Put 2 hands around it and don't try to fight. Get to the ground. Again, you just want to get out of here healthy and with a victory.
Kind of hearing John Carroll fans in the box saying, just run the clock. You know, like you can even take knees here, especially with the way your defense has played in this game. And Cullen claps his hands on 2nd and 11 as the clock is rolling under 4:25 in the game. And there's a flag before the snap for a false start going against the offense of John Carroll. It'll be 2nd down and 16.
You know, you try to get to a contest, and when you get a blowout, you want some of your younger guys to get in, but you want them to be just as competitive and make plays as your starters. So I'm watching this sideline of John Carroll. All these guys are up. They're watching the game. If they're not up, they're just cheering these younger guys on because they know that this is the future of this program.
Cullen, the sophomore, takes a snap. Will probably start next year. Throws it deep down on the far sideline. Incomplete. A go route on the far sideline. But he led him just a little bit too much. That also is the direction of which the wind is blowing. So maybe in a dome, that ball is right on the money.
Yeah, wind took it a little bit. Nice throw there by the sophomore quarterback. Put it right where only his receiver could catch it, but got caught up in the wind a little bit. Took it a little further than it had to be.
3rd down and 16, and the clock does stop. We've seen crazy stuff happen in the NFL this year. Thinking of the Cardinals game where they blew a lead to the Titans to hand them the first win of the season. Quarterback run, Cullen into the 2nd level. It gets tackled 1 yard short of the line to gain. A gain of 15 by Carter Cullen, sophomore quarterback. His brother, Cash Cullen, also plays quarterback. He's a freshman. And it is now 4th and 1. The clock is rolling and will be snapped with under 3:30 to play in the game.
I think there's something in the water in terms of these quarterbacks. Everybody seems to be able to run up here at quarterback for John Carroll.
You know, it's kind of a top trickle down. Think of all the quarterbacks in the NFL that are finding success. Another quarterback run. Cullen bouncing it right side, and he gets wrapped up for a 5-yard loss. Needed 1, got -5. The clock stops with 3:14 to play in the 4th quarter. Benjamin gets the football back, and they're on go, go, go mode. Got to score 3 times and got to score quickly here with 3:14 to play in the game. And, Coach, what I was getting at is, I mean, if you are just the prototypical pocket passer in the NFL, there's not much room for you. I'm trying to think the guys that are elite right now. Joe Burrow's hurt. Joe Flacco's a dinosaur. He's starting. But there's not that many just throwers of the football. You got to use their legs these days. Handoff up the middle. Bowens breaking through tackle. Spin move, still on his feet. Gets the HSS first down inside the 40-yard line in plus territory. The clock will stop for the time being as they spot the football and reset the chains. 1st and 10, Benjamin.
Yeah, different day and age at all levels. I mean, if you need a guy, if you're going to run a spread offense, something to get the ball down the field, you need a guy who can move. You know, I was thinking about Tua Tagovailoa, a guy who is an accurate passer, but while in the pocket, he doesn't move very well. Right now, he's having a tough go at it. Tyreek Hill is out. Dolphins are suffering right now, but that's where the age of the quarterback is going. Like old Michael Vick type quarterback. Randall Cunningham type guy.
Fake the pitch, looking to throw. Smith is incomplete, trying to find Jackson Link on maybe an out route or a drag route across the middle, going to the far side. He led him just a little bit too much on the fake pitch, and is now 2nd down and 10 for Benjamin, who took a lot of time in that huddle when the clock was rolling, as the clock reads 2:28 to play in the 4th quarter. A lot of new fresh faces in the game for John Carroll, trying to get real in-game snaps. It's a carry, left side. Bowens into the 2nd level. Gabe gets the 1st down. Still on his feet, still moving. Inside the 15, he gets stopped right around there in the red zone.
Run goes for a 1st down.
2:19 to play in the game. Benjamin on the move. 41-24 is the score. 17-point lead for John Carroll. Benjamin looking to pull off the miracle of all miracles and come back in this game. Ball spotted at the 15. And he did not get out of bounds, so the clock is rolling. Just got kind of stalled at that 15-yard line. Under center is new quarterback for Benjamin, Mac Johnson. Johnson rolling left. Johnson fires into the end zone, got a man open. It's caught for a touchdown. A touchdown brought to you by Racetrack, as Collier Arwood catches his 2nd touchdown of the game. And there's a flag after the play. But for the moment, it is 41-30. Benjamin.
Mac Johnson, Collier Arwood.
On one hand, you might think is staging a big comeback. On the other hand, at the bare minimum, making the cosmetics look a lot better after the game.
Yeah.
Because if you were a box score watching, you might think this game was a little more competitive throughout. But who's to say how this will end? Might be some unsportsmanlike conduct against Benjamin after the play. And I believe they have the option to deploy this on the extra point or on the kickoff, and John Carroll will elect to enforce it on the kickoff. So to kick this one through on the extra point is Alexander Calvo-Ayers, as he probably is already thinking about the onside kick he's going to attempt following this play. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the extra point doinks off the inside of the upright is in through and good.
Off the upright.
Playing a little bit of billiards through the air that time was Benjamin's special teams unit. 41-31. And they will back it up 15 yards on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So I believe Benjamin will be at their own 25-yard line and kicking the ball from there. But Benjamin keeping their foot on the pedal, playing this game as if it's 0-0 instead of looking at a big-time 4-touchdown deficit. If you're just joining us here on the ESPN South Florida app, thank you so much for clicking on that listen live. Or if you clicked on the watch live, it brought you to our YouTube channel at ESPN Top 63. And that YouTube channel is going to go through a little bit of changes, and it will be now titled ESPN West Palm, the home of high school sports coverage in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. So Benjamin will be trying to kick an onside kick here, and they'll be backed up 15 yards backwards, trailing by 10 of the Buccaneers with 1:43 to play in the 4th quarter. No mistaking, the onside kick's coming here. Ayers will kick it deep, actually. Never mind. Look at me jumping to conclusions and coming up short. Returnable from Richardson to the 30. 35, reverses field. Cutting back, broken tackle, got a blocker, makes another man miss. Richardson using the joystick and eventually gets brought down at the 36-yard line. 1:40 to play here in the 4th quarter. 10-point lead for John Carroll. And there was a flag on the play away from the ball carrier, so I was not really privy to what the flag might be on. If you're late joining, as I was going to get to before, Jeremy Pittman, the senior running back on homecoming night, 6 touchdowns. We are guesstimating 200-plus yards on the ground by Pittman. Pittman's in the game right now, and the A couple of more starters actually got put back into the game, including Jeremy Pittman, as well as quarterback Jackson Summerall, as this is now a 10-point ball game. Benjamin scored a defensive touchdown when the backups were on the field, and head coach Mickey Grudy is done playing with fire, if I were to assume, Coach. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you had a game pretty much over and done with, a big-time lead, and the second stringers weren't able to really take care of things from there?
Yeah, you expect them to close it out, and they don't, and yeah, you're frustrated because you're coaching harder when you're up by a lot of points, and they just didn't figure it out and close it out.
Pistol formation, Summerall hands it off to Pittman to stat pad a little bit across the 40, across the 45. 12 more yards go to Jeremy Pittman. First down brought to you by HSS Florida. John Carroll moves the chains at the 47.
Just take a knee now. You got him now. Just take a knee.
Yeah, I don't see a timeout called by Benjamin. I'm not sure how many they have left, but you are exactly right. With no timeout being called, John Carroll can take 2 knees, and it will all just be a formality, and they will win this game 41-31. And yes, that will be the final score that you might see on Twitter at ESPN Top 63 on Max Preps. But John Carroll really dominated this football game. Led at times 34-3, if I recall correctly. Then Benjamin, against some starters, some second stringers, were able to mount up a lot more offensive success. Also scored a defensive touchdown against John Carroll's backups. And one more knee is going to be taken, and that will be the end of the ball game. And we are on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook solely, so there are no breaks that we need to take. Instead, we are going to hand out the Duffy's MVP of the game. Coach, do I have to ask you who it's going to, or do we both know it's Jeremy Pittman wearing number 0 for the Golden Rams of John Carroll on homecoming night? What an impressive performance from that young man.
Yeah, one of the best I've seen, I've witnessed in person. You read about a lot of guys having success, but tonight he went to a whole nother level, and that's what you want to do. You want to close out your career on homecoming that way. I mean, you just go into the end zone, putting the team on your back and saying, listen, we're going to win number 7, and this is how we're going to do it.
41-31 is that final score. John Carroll Catholic gets the win over Benjamin. John Carroll improves to 7-2 on the season. Benjamin falls to 3-6 on the season. Of course, the Duffy's MVP of the game was running back Jeremy Pittman, who had 6 touchdowns and over 200 yards on the ground. Now we look ahead, brought to you by the Boca Bowl, because we're all looking ahead to the Boca Bowl, which is coming up on December 23rd, 2 p.m. kickoff at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Looking ahead for John Carroll, they hit the road to Boca Raton as they take on St. John Paul II Academy. And then for Benjamin, they try to lick their wounds, try to break a 2-game losing streak as they will host St. Andrews on Thursday next week. Looking ahead for us here at ESPN West Palm, the next HSS game of the week, it is the Muck Bowl going to Pahokee High School, where it'll be Glade Central versus Pahokee, where early special kickoff, 5 o'clock. On ESPN 106.3, on YouTube at ESPN West Palm, on Twitter at ESPN Top 63, and on Facebook, ESPN West Palm. Make sure you share that video broadcast so the whole world, far and wide, can see the 2025 Muck Bowl. Coach, I bid you good luck next week. I'm jealous for you and Mike Rizzo on the call for that game. But it's the final here, the HSS game of the week. John Carroll, 41. Benjamin, 31. We'll talk to you next week. ESPN West Palm High School Game Day.